You said that you love winning. What drives you more, the love of winning or the hate of losing?
Maybe equally, maybe both. I don't like losing, and I do like winning.
Say his name and he appears.
This is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Greetings and welcome to Winning Tonight Friday edition. How's everybody doing out there? Hope you're all doing, living well. Good to see everybody. Let me start by thanking all those awesome people in the Winner Circle who make it happen every month and are part of the solution. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. And a big thanks to Shelly Wolfram and Ronnie Jam, who also support us over on Rumble. We are broadcasting live tonight on Rumble, X, and YouTube, and away we go. All right, tonight on Winning Tonight Friday edition, we will cover the big news of the day, which is Vladimir Zelenskyy shows up, acts up, and gets shown the door. Oh man, this is a great day to be an American. We have a real commander-in-chief making sure that we don't get treated like chumps. And this guy showed up to be a punk and got shown the door. So we'll be covering that exclusively, as well as other things. And we'll do like a little bit of good news of the week too, since we won't have one Saturday night this week. We'll do some of that as well. And if time permitting, and I'm sure we'll get there, we'll take a look at that White House press conference as well as hear a little bit from, if we can, hopefully we will hear a little bit from Senator John Kennedy on Stacey Abrams. Where'd she get that money from? Ooh, she got busted. All right. Let me start by thinking and saying hello to all those VIPs in the front row. All right. I got Cynthia Firefox. First, Zelenskyy tried to ambush our president and Vance handed him his ass. He's blinded by his hatred. I understand it, but I don't excuse it. Trump will prevail. Absolutely. Absolutely. MJ, hey, good to see you. Well, I hope that I deliver for you. I'm sure I will. Sure. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Heidi, how's it going? Thanks for holding it down over there on the Rumble side. I appreciate it. All right, we got Roscoe Treat. What's up? Good evening to you. What a non-PPV show we had today. Non-pay-per-view. Did I miss something? I don't know which one you're talking about. Are you talking about Elimination Chamber tomorrow? Let's see. Hold on. Let me see. Here's what's disturbing. Zelenskyy arrived yesterday. There was footage showing where Senator, House warmongers met in D.C. for dinner. Who got him to lash out against POTUS, Trump, and Vance? Good question. Maybe we'll figure that out. Thanks for being here. Look at it's Grimsbar. Grimsbar, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Zelenskyy should be smacked for what he did. Well, he pretty much got smacked. He said America will feel the pain. Really? Really? Let's see how you feel the pain when you don't have our money anymore, Zelenskyy. Oh boy, all the little twinks that are Ukraine cucks are hating it tonight, aren't they? I can't believe how unprofessional he was. No, most people, even some surprising folks, are very proud of Trump today. All right, there's Wolfram. Wolfram, my friend, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for dropping these links. And remember, guys, when you're here, to always listen to the wolf. He knows what he's talking about as he wipes his paws, he lopes in, and he howls. And that's how you know the Alpha Mod is in the house. And he is. Good to see you, Wolfram. All right, he's getting some steak and beers. There you go. Throw him at the wolf. He loves it. He loves it. Look, there's T-Rex trucking and more. Wolfram did eat his internet cable. My internet cable? What happened to my internet cable? What are you talking about? Internet cable? What's he mean? What's he mean? Is something wrong? I doubt it. I doubt it. Breaking news. Bad mean orange man was bad and mean no more. Oh yeah, he just, well, we're just like, they're used to having a cuck in there that just, would have been on his knees in front of the press, kissing Zelensky's ass, and warmongering. So we don't want that. We want peace, and that's the big message here today. Let's see. Did I see a Shelly? There's Shelly. There's Shelly talking trash. Truths, our hostess with the mostest, giving out big hugs as people come in through the door. She's on all the platforms. She's on Rumble, X, and YouTube, always everywhere. And make sure you sub up to her channel and to Grimspar's channel and to everybody's channel, because we are one big happy family here. That's what we are. That's right. That's right. The most base crowd, the most informed crowd in the scene. You know the place to be. That's right here. All right. Look at, there's Daisy Girl Williams dancing in sideways. There she is. There she is, everybody. There's Daisy Girl Williams. She's in the house. She's in the house. Welcome, Daisy Girl Williams. And we got a Thomas side. Thomas, what's up, Thomas? How you doing? Good to see you, Thomas. Welcome to the show, everybody. Oh, look at that from the Great White North. From the Great White North, we got Suzanne. She's saying hi to everybody out there. There you go. There, I'm finally. She says hello to me. All right, there she is. All right, hey Suzanne, how you doing? Hope you're staying warm up there in the Great White North. She's here. All right, we got all kinds of people in the house, and we are off and rolling. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being my VIP tonight in the front row. I appreciate you being here. So let's talk about that press conference, huh? We're gonna have to take a good look at that. And I don't know that we need to watch the whole thing, but I do know that we need to watch the best part, right? And I better have saved it. So let me make sure I saved it here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. It's just about 11 minutes worth of just awesomeness. And that's pretty much the highlights there. Anything that came before that, just throw it out. Throw it out. Let's see. Is that okay? That should do it right there. All right. Yep. JD Vance was raised in the South. He's all about manners. So he's actually I don't think he was raised in the South. Right. Well, where was he from? He's from I thought he was from Ohio. Or hold on, that's Vivek. Appalachian Mountains. But yeah, he's from Ohio. So T-Rex, were you raised in the South? We saw his movie, the movie about his life, Hillbilly Elegy. And it's a crazy title, but we did see it, and it was a great movie. But yeah, he's tough, man. He's tough. He's got that military background too, Don't forget that. He's a soldier. So he ain't putting up with any shit. Well spoken. And he was there to have Trump's back, and he sure did. He didn't have to be asked to have it. He showed up. And that's what you want in a good right-hand man right there. Someone who's going to have your back and look out for you. Well, he's from Ohio, but spent a lot of Kentucky and West Virginia are not the South either. Sorry. And more needs geography lessons. Mason-Dixon line is really where they draw the line in the South. A lot of people don't think Virginia is the South. I would say that Mason-Dixon, I guess you could say that part of maybe the southern part of West Virginia could be considered the South. Kentucky straight across, but I mean the traditional South, right? Traditional South. But I get it. You're saying he's country. I know what you're saying, T-Rex. He's country. All right. So yeah, he is raised to have some manners. He's raised to have some manners. But I think there's a lot of it has to do with his military training too as well. Don't insult my commander in chief. Don't come after the leader here, man. When you're a good soldier, you take care of your leaders, man. That's what you do. Let's see. Matt Roscoe Treat says Michael Savage was on fire in his podcast today, where Mark Levin doesn't touch on, nor do many other podcasters say it like it is and what many of us are thinking. Oh, yeah? Hey, RB, what's up? Bush, I'm late. You're right on time. Was having too much fun laughing at the new Zelenskyy memes in Discord. Oh, really? There's some good memes out there. We've got to check those out. Maybe someone can get a collection together for me for later in the show. Because we gotta have some fun laughing at this clown. Man, you know, to have taken so much money and to have lost so much money and to be in the wrong end of so many things. Trump called him out. And we got to watch it right now. Let's just get to it. Anything other? I see. Anything else in here in the crowd? All right, crowd. In the crowd. Yeah, Trump showed great restraint. I heard the stuff he didn't say out loud. Luckily, Vance did not feel the need to bite his tongue. He went full. Let me tell you about yourself. It was glorious. All right. So without further ado, let's get into this right here, guys. I know you've probably seen it, but let's watch it together. This is 11 minutes of it. We will just enjoy every moment of having a real president who's sticking up for us and who wants peace. He's the peace president. He's willing to fight for peace. And that's what it's all about. Here we go.
It's in Poland, and they are worried that you align yourself too much with Putin. What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world.
That's right.
I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done.
Yes.
You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. You're never going to get a deal that way. So That's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
I would respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried
Let's try that
way of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine.
And here's where it all went wrong.
Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact
2015.
2014.
It's like, get it right.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Get it right.
That's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversations, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broke the ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President,
Wake up.
with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine? That you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future.
Yeah, man.
Zelenskyy
shit so good, didn't he?
God bless, God bless, you will not have war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
You will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right.
See, here's the thing, man. You start arguing, right? This is Zelenskyy starts arguing and nitpicking and stuff, and he picked this fight. He picked this fight, and you expect good results. We're the ones, it's like you're biting the hand that feeds you, right here, right? We're feeling the hurt from this thing too, from dishing all this money out to you, right? And who knows where the money's going? Who's getting that money? Like, probably people we don't want to have the money, right? We sure don't want to be paying for it here as Americans. But, all this bullshit happened when this guy got elected. And if you guys remember the Tucker Carlson interview with Vladimir Putin, he gave the entire history lesson of this conflict with Ukraine. He went way back. He produced documents, historical documents, and take that for what it's worth. But at the same time, he also laid out the fact that, the corrupt establishment presidents that we've had in the past have not been true to their word, neither has NATO. And there's been a bunch of bullshit going on, right? So they've been provoking these guys. They've been bad-mouthing them throughout. And Trump makes a point of this coming up. But see, this is where you start to lose a lot of respect for Zelenskyy, because he's sitting there arguing with the guy with the piggy bank, right? The country that's been lifting you up. And Trump's point is going to come clear when he lets everybody know that you guys would have been done if it wasn't for us already. And the fact, and he has no clue what's been done here with a bunch of all the weirdos running around crying about Ukraine and, Russia bad in Ukraine and all this stuff like that, right? And we don't have anything to do with your problems over there, right? We don't want, we shouldn't have anything to do with it. Yet with the corrupt establishment leadership that we've had in the past, they've made it into our business because we've been sitting there fueling it with our money and everything else and rhetoric and so on. This long-standing Trotskyite, neocon vendetta against Russia. It's not the Soviet Union, it's Russia, right? And okay, fine, they're competitors on the global scale, whatever you want to call it, right? But for the most part, I'm Gen X, man. We had never got to that moment with Russia of the Soviet Union where we're going to get into nuclear war and there's going to be some massive war, right? We haven't gotten to that moment. And yet these neocons, these corrupt establishment globalist puppets, have kept pushing for this over and over again. They keep agitating. They keep literally poking the bear. And this guy's sitting here arguing with the one guy that can help him get out of this and end this stuff. And this is exactly where it went south. And this is where his immaturity and his lack of true alpha leadership is really showing, because you should be sitting there going, trying to do your best in this situation with the leader of the free world to be friends, to make this thing happen, to make this deal happen, and do whatever you can to save your people's lives. This guy doesn't seem to care very much about the fact that people in his country, he's the president of, are dying every day because of this war. He doesn't seem to care about the human life factor, and it's really showing right here.
Right now, not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and
of
he
the
happens
war.
to be right
From
about
the
it.
very
See, and then he's talking over him. Just look, if you screw up, you say something you didn't mean to say, or you didn't say it right, or you got into a little thing in a negotiation, let the other person have their say, right? Let them talk it out. Let him get it off the chest, and just try to reset and get back to the table. And, again, he's just showing exactly his lack of leadership, his lack of ability to understand the gravity of his situation and the cost that it comes at.
beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a
Brown,
good position.
I
You
was-
don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing
cards.
cards.
Right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
See, there he goes. I mean, there you go. Right back to not playing cards. Very serious. Trump said he tried to make a deal. He's saying that you have no leverage, right? And you have nothing to offer. We trying to get some kind of compensation back for all the money we've shoveled at you for this stupid war. And here you are saying not very serious. You don't think that we're serious about this? That's what he's just basically saying, trying to make light of what he's saying. He's becoming argumentative. I don't know if he doesn't get enough sleep or what his problem is, but he is having emotional problems right now, and he should be controlling his emotions with everything he has.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives of
in war.
millions of people.
You think
Which Trump just
Gambling
points
with
out.
World War III.
Yep.
You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country,
I'm
that's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to you.
Far more than a lot of people said they should.
So you gotta take the heat now, guy. This is what he's like getting. You gotta take the heat. Don't argue with him. Let him throw the heat out, right? Because you earned the heat by your earlier comments, by you going off task. You went off task to talk to the vice president. There is not inevitably. Trump's the S man. You don't go off task to talk to the right hand man. You don't go off task to talk to, you're going to call Rubio out or somebody. No, you don't go off task, man. You're talking to the yes man. The decision maker is right there across from you. That's who you focus on. That's who you need to win over. That's who you need to make sure you don't lose in this negotiation. And that's exactly, again, that just shows this guy is not right for what the job that he has. They should have had their elections, and they should have put somebody else in. And that would have been, that would have been real. I hate to say democracy, but it would have been the right thing to do. Let me see. Let's get some comments from the crowd on this one. Let's see. Exactly half the issues in Europe are because they can't live and function in the now. They cling to the past, and that makes moving forward impossible for them. Yeah, I know. If they focus on the present, they might see that their borders have been crashed and they're losing their sovereignty and they're losing their culture. That might be a good thing to work on for them. Yeah, I get tired of that too. The past is the past. We are here today. What are we going to do to make it a better tomorrow? That's the question. I get what Zelenskyy is saying about Putin breaking ceasefires, but he's not in a position of power. I mean, okay, it is what it is, right? Okay, so like Trump's going to say this in a minute too. RB, he's going to say, what if the bomb falls on your head, right? What the moon? I always say that too when people get into the what ifs scenarios. These are fallacies, and this guy is full of them. Fallacies of the what ifs, right? Well, what if the moon crashes into the planet? Well, then we're all screwed, right? Then we're all screwed. So but you can what if everything to death, right? What is it is what it is now, and what we're going to do. If you make a good deal and you realize the gravity of the situation in Russia as well, they want to break off the death and destruction too. So let's get to work on it. What's been done is done. You can't undo it. You're not going to bring back the all the lives lost, all the destruction. You're just not going to bring it back. But I hear what you're saying. But this is not the right time, and you make a good point. He's not in a position of power at all. Zelenskyy, whiny boy, mama, daddy. Didn't get me what I wanted during his Fox follow-up interview. It was BS. Yeah, I did see that Fox follow-up interview. About 20 minutes. Is that all he did is whine? I was trying to decide whether I got that at the last minute. I'm trying to decide whether to watch it or not. I don't want to hear more of his BS whining, but if it's clipped out a little bit, I might be able to see it. Biden's handlers made this monster by telling Zelenskyy he's got to dictate the outcome of the war, right? He didn't have the manpower to ever do so. You know what? That Ryan Ruth guy is probably banging his head against the bars in the cell right now because he was a big Ukraine backer, and that was his whole thing. Was like, Trump's not going to kill Russia. Russia's the biggest evil on the planet. We must come together and have World War III. And I'm going to, he had all these plans, right? He dedicated his whole life to Ukraine. That Ukraine mind control that the establishment put out there, right? I tell you what, man. I've felt that Ukraine mind control from individuals before, and they're very radicalized people. They really are. These heavily pro-Ukraine people that have been convinced that Russia is the biggest evil that ever existed. I guess and a lot of these people actually weren't even alive during the Soviet Union. I think that too. That's the craziest thing. But anyways, we're not going to feel anything. We're going with logic, reason. Yeah, there's no room for emotion in this, right? We all understand that it's a bad situation. If you want fifis, that administration, they got voted out because of that shit. Fifi days are over. Yeah, so you just said it. Let's see. Madcore. Let's see. I saw your link there. Make sure you guys follow. Madcore will be back one day. We were war weary. There's been way too much of it in the last 25 years. Yeah, I know, except for the 4 years Trump was in, right? People over here are over it. Yeah, we're over it. No more bankrolling our boots in the ground. Give us peace. Right. And you know what? At one time, the people who are so pro-war now, pro-Ukraine war, they were supposedly the party of peace, party of end the wars and bring the soldiers home. But what happened to that? Madcore, you seen the Ukraine ambassador that in that room put her hand to her face and start shaking her head when he started talking over Trump and Vance? Yep. They're like, this clown show. This is a guy who was an actor, right? And I don't know how he got into this position. Why people thought he would be a good leader. Was he that good of an actor? I don't think he was. He was like singing and dancing, had these fake boobs on and stuff. I don't know. It seems like a clown to me. It seems like a clown to me now. That is true. Oh, it's T3. She gets her own. She has a special one. Talking Trash Juice, thank you for the $5 super chat. Oops. Love Vance too. He just not as much as I adore Trump. I love the northern aggression when they try to push him around. Yeah, it's better than being a cuck, isn't it? Thank you for the $5 super chat. I missed the first one. Oh, there's another one. Okay. First $5 super chat that I missed. Thank you for that. That meeting made my entire day. I'm so proud of our administration. We're American. We're America. We don't pander to or grovel. We dominate. Love Trump and Vance too. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Thank you for the two $5 super chats. I appreciate them both. Thank you for supporting the channel. All right. Let's see. Levy, what's up? Welcome to the show. Levy, how you doing? Maybe if they didn't try to kill the Russian cultured Eastern Ukrainians, Russia wouldn't have gotten involved. That amongst other things, right? So much dirty business over there. Dirty business, money laundering, backstabbing. The whole thing's a freaking mess. And you know what? Trump's just trying to end it. And here's this clown wearing his big shoes and his red nose, and they're squirting water out of a flower in the Oval Office. And the men in the room said enough. They said enough. Does he think he's still dealing with Biden? Who are his advisors? Democrats. They lost the election. They ain't working anymore. Yeah, he seems to be very I don't know what's going on with him, man. He seems to think that all presidents are the same over here. And I'm like, weren't you around when Trump's first term was there? Don't you follow anything we're doing over here? Don't you realize that the days of pandering and just dishing out money for no reasons and supporting your craziness is over? This is over. This is like your chance to get out. You got the world's greatest deal maker sitting 1 foot from you. I mean, you're less than a foot if you count the knees, right? And you're sitting here, and this is the guy that can totally save your ass, and you're blowing it when you blow it, right? So you're blowing it as you go. He just doesn't have the self-control to reel himself in. No wonder he's in the middle of a war with one of the most powerful countries on earth. I mean, no wonder. Yeah, right. So you need to watch the full 50-minute version so you can see how it all started. Let me know if y'all need the link. You guys want to watch the full 50-minute version? You guys want to do that? I did watch it. I figured we can back it up. We can back it up. I don't mind. Are you guys up for it? You guys want a full dose of it? I figure we get through this and then get to the reaction since it happened earlier today. I figured most people out there had seen it, or at least seen it already, or seen lots of it, or heard it, maybe saw it on other shows or whatever. Starting here at 7:45 in the East Coast. But let me know what you guys think. Watch the whole thing on winning speed, right? T3. You guys want to watch the whole thing? I can stop it right here. I'll do it. I got the cards. Yeah, you got a good link, Magcor. Which one do you like? Which one do you like? People are saying he was ambushed by Trump and Vance, but if you watch 50 minutes full, you'll see it. Yeah, okay, we can do that. I don't want to bore people by replaying something you've already seen, but I'm happy to back this up, and if that's the consensus, because I'm here for you, man. I'm here for you. This is our show, right? Let me get some more feedback on this. I've only seen the clips, okay, from the Brent Varn. Okay, so it's okay. Okay, so a lot of people have only seen the clips, and here I am showing you more clips. Great. All right, so let's do that. Good idea, guys. Good idea, guys. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. And my friend Matt Cort's already hooked me up with a good link to it. Oh, we're gonna watch it on X. Sometimes we can't hear it good on X. I'll try it. I'll try it. Oh, it's pretty loud for me. All right, so let me see how this sounds. Okay, so this is the full 50. I did have the full 50 saved in a few spots. Now, there's also some talk out there about how you spell his last name. Now, everywhere I looked, it had two Y's, and while two Y's together are two letters at the end that are the same, is really gay. But it's especially when you do it intentionally. I don't know if that's really the way you spell it or not, but AI seems to think so, and so does a lot of other channels. So I don't know. Does anybody want to help me out with that? Help me out with that. Okay, so everybody said do whatever. Thank you for that, Heidi. Thank you. All right. So let's try. Quality doesn't look as good. I am about the quality. Ooh, it's on 3. Ooh, ugh. Okay, hold on. Let me try to find a better. Thank you for that, Magcor. But let me see if I can find a better version of that. I know I had it somewhere. Where's my history? History. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, did I not? Oh, that's that. Okay. Let me just do this. Let me do it this way. Well, don't worry, we'll be right back to it any second here. Let's see if I do it like this, it may work even better. You did? Okay. How's this one look? All right, that's good. This one. This looks good. All right, let me get it set up on winning speed. All right, guys, full blast. Full blast. Here we go. Full blast coming up. Now we're gonna get the full context of it. Check this. Got it. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate everybody helping out. Appreciate all the help. All right, here it is. Look at that. We got the full interview, and this is how it started. Boom.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to have President Zelenskyy of Ukraine. And we've been working very hard, very close. So we've actually known each other for a long time. We've been dealing with each other for a long time and very well. We had a little negotiation spat, but that worked out great. I think for both countries, I think for the world, actually, beyond both countries. and we have something that is a very fair deal. And we look forward to getting in and digging and working and getting some of the rare earth. But it means we're going to be inside, and it's a big commitment from the United States, and we appreciate working with you very much. And we will continue to do that. We have had some very good discussions with Russia. I spoke with President Putin, and we're going to try and bring this to a close. It's something that you want and that he wants. We have to negotiate a deal, but we've started the confines of a deal, and I think something can happen. The big thing is the number of
Andre Giant, what's
soldiers,
up?
mostly at this
Coming
point,
down the
soldiers
rumble
being
side.
killed.
What's
We're
going
losing
on?
thousands
How
of
you doing?
soldiers. So on both sides, we're losing a lot of soldiers, and we want to see it stop. And we want to see the money get
Going full.
put to different kinds of use, like rebuilding. And we're going to be working very hard. But we've had a lot of very good conversations. I will say until we came along, the Biden administration didn't speak to Russia whatsoever. They didn't speak to anybody. They just allowed this to continue. And I will say that, I'll say in front of you, you've heard me say it 1,000 times, if I were president, this war would have never happened. We would have had a deal negotiated for you without having to go through what you've gone through. But you,
being super
your
nice.
soldiers have been unbelievably brave. We've given them great equipment, but somebody has to use the equipment. They've been unbelievably brave, and we give them great credit. This was supposed to be over very quickly, and here we are 3 years later. So I give tremendous credit to your generals and your soldiers and yourself in the sense that it's been very hard fighting, very tough fighting. They're great fighters, and you have to be very proud of them from that standpoint. But now we want to get it over with.
Yep.
It's enough.
Now it's
right?
over.
We want to get it
Enough.
over with. So it's an honor to have you here. Thank you very much for coming. We're going to sign the agreement at the conference in the East Room in a little while, right after lunch. And we'll be having lunch together. We're also discussing some other things. And we appreciate everybody being here. It's
That's how
somewhat of an
close he
exciting
was.
moment. But the really exciting moment is when we get
One room
when
away.
they stop the shooting and we end up with the deal. And I think we're fairly close to getting that. And an honor to have you. And please, I'd like to say something.
No, thanks so much, Mr. President. Thank you for invitation. And really, I hope that this first document will be first step to real security guarantees for Ukraine, our people, our children. I really count on it. And of course, we count that America will not stop support. Really, for us, it's very important to support and to continue it. I want to discuss it with details further during our conversation. And of course, the infrastructure or security guarantees. Because for today, I understand what Europe is ready to do. And of course, I want to discuss with you what the United States will be ready to do.
You're paying back.
And I really count on your strong position to stop Putin. And you said that enough with the war. I think that is very important, Ben, to say these words to Putin at the very beginning of war, because he is a killer and terrorist. But I hope that together we can stop him. But for us, it's very important to, to save our country, our values, our freedom and democracy, and of course, no compromises with the killer about our territories, but it will be later. And of course, what I wanted, we spoke about it by phone with you about the drones production. We have very good drones production. I think the best one
Already,
in the world for today
getting a little
because of
sus
the war.
here.
Yes, and of course, we need very much the air defense. You have the best air defense in the world, and really you have us
Damn right.
under attacks of Russians. And I want to speak how we can exchange the licenses. We're open to share the licenses of all our drones with you, of course, with the United States. And we need licenses for quick production of air defense. Even after the war, we need our nation to be calm, that we are secured. So that's why we need this air shield. And of course, about this, I want to speak about the contingents. I think that France and UK already spoke to you. And we know that Europe is ready, but without the United States, they will not be ready to be as strong as we need.
Let it fly, guys.
And then the last point, last not least, about exchange, about our people and children. And you know that this crazy Russian, that they stolen 20,000 of children, Ukrainian children. They changed their names. They changed their, their families, relatives, and now they're in Russia. We want to bring them back. And really, it's a big dream, task and goal for me and our warriors. By the way, Mr. President, we exchanged, released more than 4,000 warriors from Russian prison, but there are thousands more in the prison. I wanted to share with you some images, how it's, you have just can I now?
Yeah,
Have I?
please.
1 minute. Just you to understand in what circumstances, in what situation they are, and what the attitude of Russia to our prisoners. That guys, just you before and after. And you see before and after, just you to understand. Now thousands of such guys, ladies and men, there, and that so they don't eat, they beat them, and they, they do a lot of bad things. So out of, even during the war, there are rules. Everybody knows there are rules during the war. These guys, they don't have any rules. You see that 50, 60 kilograms left and a lot of such things. And I didn't want to show you what the changes with images of children, because I will share with you. And I mean, it's looking tragic.
No, that's tough stuff.
I wanted very much to give you, and here you see it.
Yeah.
This is pastor, by the way. They stolen pastors because it's not Russian church. They stolen pastors and moved pastors to the prison. We, at the end of last year, we brought 3 pastors. We could
playing on
exchange
the
them.
children and
This
the
is pastor,
religion.
you see.
Huh?
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. So I mean, this I wanted to show you, and this. So thank you very much.
We want to get that ended, right?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Of course we
And
will.
I think we will. And
We have to, of course.
do you have any questions, please?
Thank you, Mr. President. With the how much money is the U.S. going to put into the fund that is being created today, and how does this provide long-term security for Ukraine?
Well, we don't know exactly how much because we're going to be putting some money in a fund that we're going to get from the raw earth that we're going to be taking and sharing in terms of revenue.
Right,
so it's going to be a
Roscoe.
lot of money will be made from the sale and from the use
Yep.
of raw earth. And as you know,
Right.
our country doesn't have much raw earth. We have a lot of oil
Yep.
and gas, but we
Right.
don't have a lot of
Backdoor.
the raw earth. And what we do have is protected by the environmentalists, but that could be unprotected. But still, it's not very much. They have among the best in the world in terms of raw earth. So we're going to be using that, using it for all of the things we do, including AI and including weapons and the military. And it's really going to very much satisfy our needs. So it's something that just worked out really well. We have a lot of oil and we have a lot of gas. We have a lot, but we don't have raw earth. So this has just about every component of the raw earth that we need for computers, for all of the things we do.
And
This puts us in great shape.
And on long-term security for Ukraine. How does this provide?
I think they're going to have great luck. I think once we make the agreement, that's going to be 95% of it. They're not going to go back to fighting. I've spoken with President Putin, and I feel very strong. I've known him for a long time, and I feel very strongly that they're very serious about it. And we'll make a deal. And when the deal is made, I don't think we talk about security. Everyone's talking about the other day. All they talked about was security. I said, let me make the deal first. I have to make the deal first. I don't worry about security right now. We have to have a deal because right now, last
Right.
week, 2,000 soldiers died on both sides. 2,000, and they're losing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a week. So as we sit here and we talk, people are getting shot and dying on the battlefield. And, they're not American soldiers, but they're Russian soldiers and they're Ukrainian soldiers, and we want to be able to stop it. And we want to be able also to spend money on other things. We don't want to, this is a tremendous amount of money. And what the Biden administration did was terrible. They were giving money, but he had no security on the money. Europe, as you know, gave much less money, but they had security. It was in the form of a loan. They get their money back, and we didn't. And now at least we're protected because the American taxpayer has to be protected too. But this is an incredible agreement for Ukraine because we have a big investment in their country now. And what they have, very few
Big
people
investment.
have. And we're able to really go forward with very, very
That's a lot of
high-tech
money.
things and many other things, including weaponry that we're going to use in many locations, but that we need for our country.
Mr. President,
This allows us to do that.
I'm sorry.
military aid.
Yes, go ahead, please.
If I can just, yes, in the document, there is one of the very important points. If we speak about business and then investment, we never had LNG terminals in Ukraine. This document will open. I mean, the next document, but anyway, here we see in the framework, we see a really good deal for this. LNG terminals for us is very important, and I think for security of European continent, we have the biggest storage, gas storage. We have the biggest in Europe. Yes, and we can use it. Use it for LNG. Use it for LNG, and we will do it. And really, we can help Europe because Europe really helped. President Trump said that they made less support, but they have our friends and they are our very supportive partners. They really gave a lot, Mr. President. They did.
They gave a lot, but they gave much less.
No.
Much less.
No. No.
Much less. Say it. Say the word.
Mr. President Trump, you have repeatedly called the deal with Ukraine as a historical one. And as a president of the United States, you make historical decisions in other issues which affect America and other world. So what place in the world history do you want to take? And do you associate yourself with any famous historical figures?
Yeah, I'd say George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. I would say I'm far superior to George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Now, you know I'm only kidding, right? Because when I say that, the fake news is going to go wild. They're going to say he considers himself to be better than Washington, but you never know. You never know. I don't compare myself to anybody. I'm here to do a job. We've had a great 35 days or whatever it might be, a month, a little more than a month. We've accomplished tremendous amounts. Not only this would be a very great achievement if we could get the war stopped and get them back to normalization. I think that's going to happen. We've had very good talks on both sides, as you know, but I think we've done a very good job. Just generally, if you look at all of the things we've done in 30 days, they're saying there's never been a opening for a president. The first month, there's never been a first month like we've had. And this is one of the very important things. This to me is one of the most important things because we have tremendous death taking place as we speak. And I don't want to have that. Think of the parents, whether they're in Russia or Ukraine, right? Think of the parents of all these people being killed needlessly.
They came to our territory.
Should have never started. If I were president, this would have never started.
Will you continue sending military aid to Ukraine after the U.S. signs this agreement with Ukraine?
Yeah, we're going to be continuing.
President Zelenskyy, do you feel like the U.S. is on your side? That the President Trump is on your side at this moment?
What do you think?
He wants to know. Do you think that? Sort of a stupid question. I guess we wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
I think that the United States on our side from the very beginning of occupation, and I think that President Trump on our side, and of course,
and the only person who can blow that is you.
The United States President will not stop.
The only person that can blow that is you right now.
It's important for us, yes. And Putin, the president, speaks about the people and the soldiers which are dying, but they came to our territory, they came to our land. They began this war, and they have to stop. And I think this is the question, with really the most important question. Can President Trump, I hope yes, with some other allies, to stop Putin, withdraw these enemies, withdraw these troops from our land? And I think that you asked about the history. I think that if President or when he will stop Putin, if President Trump will bring peace to our country, I think he will be on this wall.
We've had very, very good talks.
President Zelenskyy just said that there will be no compromises with Vladimir Putin. I just wanted to ask both of you. Firstly, are there compromises that you think that President Zelenskyy is going to have to make? President Zelenskyy, is there anything that you might be thinking that you may be able to offer or bring to the table, for example, elections? Thank you.
I think you're going to have to always make compromises. You can't do any deals without compromises. So certainly he's going to have to make some compromises, but hopefully they won't be as big as some people think you're going to have to make. That's all. That's all we can do. I'm here as an arbitrator, as a mediator to a certain extent between two parties that have been very hostile. To put it mildly, they've been very hostile. There's been a vicious war. There's been a vicious war. It's a very level battlefield, and those bullets go out. And as I've said many times, we were talking about it with Pete, many times the only thing stopping those bullets is a human body. And in the case we're talking about, generally young human bodies are stopping a lot of bullets. It's dead level. That's why it's great farmland. It's great land. It's great farmland, but there's very little protection against the bullets that are being, and other things that are being shot. So all I can do is see if I can get everybody at the table and get an agreement. And I think we're going to end up with an agreement. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably be even here today.
Mr. President, I've got two questions for you. You think ultimately your legacy will be the peacemaker and not the president that led this country into another war and ended foreign wars? And I've got a question.
I hope it will. I hope I'm going to be remembered as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing if we could do this. I'm doing this to save lives more than anything else. Second is to save a lot of money, but I consider that to be far less important. So I hope I'm going to thank you, Brian, for that question. It was a nice question. I hope I'll be known and recognized as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing to solve. This is a very dangerous situation. This could lead to a third world war. This was headed in the wrong direction. If this election were lost, if we didn't win this election, and we won it by a lot. That was a mandate. We won every swing state. We won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. We won everything. The districts, you look at the areas of red, take a look at a map. This was a big mandate. And this was one of the things I said, we're going to get this thing settled. If we didn't win, I think this could have very well ended up in a third world war. And that would not have been a good situation. What was your second question?
And my second question for President Zelenskyy. Why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest, why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest level.
That is a freaking weird question, man. I just had to. I remember that from earlier when I watched it. I'm just like, dude, seriously? Who the hell asked that question? Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you do what we do? It's like, come on, dude. I mean, this is his brand, I guess, or whatever. But I mean, you get a chance to ask a question, and in a very important press conference like this, and you ask why he doesn't wear a suit. You know, what are you, like, some kind of fanboy or something? Like, what, you know, what's your favorite? You're gonna ask him what his favorite ice cream flavor is or something next. I mean, it's like, don't get into the personal shit. Let him dress in black, and you know, he's in a state of war. I'm not trying to give this guy too much slack, or you know, but I mean, that's just stupid. Can you imagine being a reporter in the White House next to President Trump and Vice President Vance, talking about the most, you know, important global topic on the docket right now, this war, it's cost us billions of dollars, and you ask about a suit? I mean, it's so stupid.
In this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see people. Do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not respecting the dignity of-
Really? He just, like, who's he speaking for? A lot of Americans have a problem with him. Really? That's a lie. And then can you imagine telling a lie? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to get on this guy's case for a second, just for a second, because this is the stupidest thing ever. Like, who lifts this retard in? Oops, did I say it? Yeah. Well, it is what it is, right? Who lets him in there to ask such a remedial question? I mean, this is bullshit. Is he from, like, TMZ, or, like, you know, what is this? And you're trying to agitate this dude? I mean, I think that was kind of, you know, if you want to get all conspiratorial and whatnot, that was kind of you know, an agitation question. Like, let me get under this guy's skin kind of shit. And that might have been the thing that kind of started to set him off. I don't know if it is. It's still weak. The whole thing's still weakness on Zelensky's part. But, you know, why would you do that? I'd be like, you know, I would respond to, who are you? Are you with the fashion police? You know, and I would have been like, that's all. I'm done. You know, I wouldn't have taken it a step further.
His office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe something
like
Yes,
yours.
sir.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't know.
You know, right there, he got him. He should have stopped right there, right? You know.
See, maybe something cheaper. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
President Trump, thank you, President Trump. You said yesterday that
Are you going to send more arms to Ukraine in case there's no peace?
Yeah, we're going to have arms to Ukraine. Yeah, sure. Hopefully, I won't have to send very much, because hopefully we're going to have it finished. We're looking forward to finishing this quickly. We're not looking forward to sending a lot of arms. We're looking forward to getting the war finished so we can do other things. But we very much appreciate the agreement, because we needed what they had, and we're treating, you know, our country is now treated fairly. Biden didn't do that. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. This should have never happened. This should have never started.
Vogue magazine.
You know, sure. The answer is yes, but hopefully we won't have to send much, because I'm looking forward to getting it done quickly, very quickly.
does that mean you'll provide security guarantees, Mr. President?
I don't want to talk about security yet, because I want to get the deal done. You know, you fall into the same trap like everybody else. A million times you say it over and over. I want to get the deal done. Security is so easy. That's about 2% of the problem. I'm not worried about security. I'm worried about getting the deal done. The security is the easy part. Security is very nice. Everybody stopped shooting. And now will Europe put people there? I know France is going to. I know the UK is going to. I know other countries are going to, and they happen to be right next door. We haven't committed, but we could conceivably, you know, we have security in a different form. We'll have workers there digging, taking the raw earth, so that we can create a lot of great product in this country. So in that sense, you have something, but we haven't determined that yet. I will say, in speaking to France and in speaking to, and they were here, as you know, last week and just the other day, they have committed to a lot of security. I don't think you're going to need much security. I think once this deal gets done, it's over. Russia's not going to want to go back, and nobody's going to want to go back. When this deal ends, I really believe this deal is going to be over. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Mr. President, thank you. You had U.S. Macron and Keir Starmer at the White House this past week, both of whom praised your courage and conviction to lead the pathway towards peace.
Yes.
Part of that involved, though, re-engaging Russia in diplomatic relations.
Did I talk over the part where Trump said he didn't mind the way he dressed? Did I talk over that? How did I miss that?
Something that previous leaders lacked, the conviction to do so. What gave you the moral courage and conviction to step forward and lead that?
Well, I love this guy. Who are you with?
One American news, sir.
Well, that's why I like him. One American News does a great job. I like the question. I think it's a very good question. It's a pathway to peace. It's a pathway to getting something solved. And I feel that as the head of this country, I have an obligation to do that. Plus, we're very much involved. We got involved. It's too bad we got involved because there should have been no involved because there should have been no war. And there shouldn't have been October 7th. That would have never happened. As you know, Iran was broke. They had no money to give to Hezbollah. They had no money to give to Hamas. They were stone cold broke. And then under Biden, they became rich as hell. They went from no money to $300 billion in a period of 4 years. And they gave a lot of that money away. And you see what happened. And that's a real mess also that we hope to be able to solve. But no, I appreciate your question very much. It's just, I feel I have an obligation to try and do something to stop the death.
If I can answer. Yes, if I can answer. Sorry, please.
And I do like your clothing, but
There he is.
even though I think he's a great guy, by the way. But I don't know if you two like each other. But you know what? I think
I like this guy.
I think he's dressed beautiful.
So I have more serious things than answer on such questions. I will answer on more serious questions if I can. Yeah. So please, about security guarantees and about just ceasefire. We can't just speak about ceasefire and speak. It will not work. Just ceasefire will never work because I'm like a president. I have this experience, and not only me. Ukraine before my presidency, from the 2014, Putin broken 25 times. 25 times he broken his own signature. 25 times he broke a ceasefire.
But he never broke to me. He never broke to me.
No, you were the president. You were the president during.
He never broke to me.
In 2016, you've been the president, Mr. President. You've been the president, but he had, of course, not with you, but he had during those periods, he had conversations with our side. And we had Normandy format, the France, Germany, Ukraine, and Russia. And he broken 25 times. That's why we will never accept just ceasefire. It will not work without security guarantees. Security guarantees, maybe President is right about this document and other, but this document is not enough. Strong army is enough because his soldiers afraid, Putin's soldiers afraid of our soldiers when we're strong enough. If we are not strong enough, if we are empty, if our storage is empty, we can't defend our land. Today, he knows that we have, all the world knows that we have meeting, yes? Why he's using ballistic? Putin today using ballistic on our hospitals, schools, and etc. Ballistic. So he knows that we are here and that President Trump is really have goodwill to stop this war. And you hear now the president. So why he's using? So he doesn't want to stop. He doesn't want. But I hope that we will do it. Really, we'll do it. Security. When we speak about security guarantees, when the Europeans are ready for contingents, they need USA backstop. If there will not be United States, we will never have any contingents, strong contingents from the Europeans, because they don't want to divide alliance connection between the United States and the main and strongest ally and Europeans. And this is crucial. This is important. That's what we want to speak about very much. This is very important. And air defense. So air defense, really, we have big deficit with all these systems, and we need to provide this. We need it very much. Otherwise, Putin will never stop, and will go further and further. He doesn't want. He hates us. It's not about me. He hates Ukrainians. He thinks that we are not a nation. He thinks, and he shared this thoughts. I think maybe with your team also. I don't know, but with all the Europeans. In media, officially and not, he always said that there is no such country, such nation, such language, and such life like Ukrainian. No, he really doesn't respect all the Ukrainians, and he wants to destroy us. And you're right, Mr. President. That's 2%. This document, maybe other documents, it's a very good start, very good, but it will not enough to stop this person.
Should Russia pay to rebuild Ukraine?
Mr. President, under these
Should Russia pay to rebuild Ukraine?
They have to pay. This is rule of the war.
Hey, Ronnie,
this is the rule of the war. During all the centuries, all the history, this is the rule of the war. Who began, those pay. This is the rule. Putin began this war. He has to pay all money for innovation. He has to pay. Of course, some Russian assets, what we have in Europe, about 300 billion, we can use them. We can use for innovation and buy military support from the United States also. We can do it, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
Wait, 1 second.
I asked this question that you didn't like because I wanted to know if you want to position yourself in the middle between Russia and Ukraine or on the Ukraine side.
No, I'm in the middle. I want to solve this thing. I'm for both. I want to get it solved.
Solutions.
And it's wonderful to speak badly about somebody else, but I want to get it solved. If we can solve it, great. If we can't solve it, they're going to have to fight it out, and who knows what's going to happen. But I want to see it get solved.
May I follow up? One more question about U.S. troops in Europe. After Russian invasion of Ukraine, your predecessor sent additional troops to Eastern Europe, including Poland, my country. Are you committed to keeping these troops on the eastern flank of NATO in the future?
I'm very committed to Poland. I think Poland has really stepped up and done a great job for NATO. They, as you know, they paid more than they had to. They are one of the finest groups of people I've ever known. I'm very committed to Poland.
What about Baltics?
Poland's in a tough neighborhood, you know.
What about the Baltics?
The Baltics, they got a lot of, it's a tough neighborhood too, but we're committed. We're going to be very committed, and we're committed to NATO. But NATO has to step up, and the Europeans have to step up more than they have. And I want to see them equalize because they are in for far less than we're in, and they should be at least equal. You understand that? Why is the United States, we have an ocean in between. Why is the United States in for so much more money and other things as Europe? With that being said, and as you said, they've also been obviously very helpful, but we have put in far more than they have. And I think they should equalize.
Mr. President,
Please go ahead.
about the agreement again today, what changed between the first time that Secretary Bessent gave President Zelenskyy the agreement and today for the signing?
We made a deal.
What was that?
I'm a business person. We made a deal. That's what changed. I didn't think we were going to make a deal. And we ended up making the deal, so that changed.
Mr. President, what and how do you envision a trilateral summit with President Zelenskyy and Putin?
I don't know, but it's, well, they don't like each other. I can tell you that. They do not like each other. This is not a love match. And it's unfortunate. That's why you're in this situation. The United States should not have allowed this to happen. Okay? The United States, run by a man that didn't know much. I'm going to be very nice.
It's
Run by
hole in the wall.
an incompetent person, very incompetent person, should never have
Hey,
allowed this to
Instagram,
happen.
how you doing? Welcome
I've
to the
stopped
show.
wars. I've stopped many wars. And people will tell you, I stopped wars that nobody ever heard about. I stopped wars before they ever started.
Nice.
Look at some of, I could give you a lot of nations that would tell you right now they were probably going to war. I can tell you right now there's a nation thinking about going to war on something that nobody in this room has ever even heard about. Two smaller nations, but big, still big. And I think I've stopped it. But this should have never happened.
About sorry, just a second. About any negotiations. First of all, I want really to tell you, and I think that everybody understands that Ukraine, modern Ukrainians, nobody wants to stop this war. But at the future, any negotiations, it's understandable that two sides of the war, not Russia and the United States, because this is not a war between Russia and the United States. This is war of Russia against Ukraine and Ukrainian people. So these two sides will be at will be at the negotiation table. Then of course United States, like the strongest partner of the Ukraine, and of course Europe. I think Europe is very important. I want to speak about it with the president. Yes, Europe is very important for us because we really defend Europe for today. All Europeans really recognize that we are defending the line and they have real life and our people are dying. That's why they helped us. And also it's about the NATO. Yes, between, like the president said, you have big, nice ocean.
Russia?
Yes, between us. But if we will not stay Russia, and to Poland, by the way, but first to the Baltics, it's understandable for them because they've been in the USSR. You know, they've been one of the republics of the USSR, and Putin wants to bring them back to his empire. It's a fact. And when he will go there, if we will not stay, you will fight. Your American soldiers. It doesn't matter. Do you have ocean or not? Your soldiers will fight.
Mr. President, would you be willing to visit Ukraine, maybe Kyiv or Odessa?
Did we follow that? I didn't follow that at all.
It was my question.
You're saying that we're going to fight?
Let's not talk about Odessa.
So.
I want to talk about making a deal, getting peace. We don't have to talk about Odessa, but a lot of cities have been destroyed. A lot of cities that are not recognizable. There's not a building standing. And a lot of things
Mr. President, you have to come and to look. No. We have very good cities. Yes, a lot of things have been destroyed, but mostly cities alive. And people work. And children go to school. Sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes closer to front line, children have to go to underground schools or online. But we live. Ukraine is fighting and Ukraine lives. This is very important. And maybe it's Putin is sharing this information that he destroyed us. No, he lost 700,000 people, 700,000 soldiers. He lost everything. Yes. So,
Mr. President, one more. I mentioned Poland.
Please go ahead.
When did you last meet with President Putin? And what did he say?
A couple of days ago.
And what did he tell you that gave you the assurance that he wanted peace?
Well, that's what I do. My whole life is deals. I know pretty good. And I've known him for a long time. I've dealt with him for a long time. He had to suffer through the Russia hoax. You know, Russia was a hoax. It was all Biden. It was nothing to do with him. So he had to suffer through that, and he was able to do that. I think that he wants to make a deal, and he'd like to see it end. That's all I do. That's what I do. My whole life, that's what I do is make deals. And I'm in the middle of a mess because this is a real mess. is a very dangerous one. If this doesn't get solved now, it's not going to get solved for a long time. So I hope we're going to get it solved. In the back, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Prime Minister Starmer claimed repeatedly that his government believes in free speech and was not engaged in censorship. But his country used government to arrest people for memes and thought crimes, and even more worse than just pressuring American companies to censor Americans on his behalf. How can he be a reliable, trustworthy partner when he says things that are demonstrably false on such an important topic?
Well, we actually spoke to him about that yesterday, and we thought they took it very, very much too far. JD was very strong on it. So was I.
Oh, yeah.
So was Marco, and we've been speaking to him about it. Marco, would you like to say something about that?
We have concerns, obviously, with the conduct of those, particularly as it impacts Americans. And there's real concern that American speech, which is online, could fall into the hands of British or any country's jurisdiction. And so this is a point the Vice President made of Munich, and I think it's a very compelling one that what unites us with Europe, as much as anything else, is these shared values, and one of them being free speech. And so if Americans are threatened by it, we're going to need to take action in that regard.
It's only logical, Mr. Marco.
It's actually a very important question.
We spoke about this in detail with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Secretary, and others at lunch yesterday. And I know that Secretary of Commerce Lutnick followed up in private meetings last night. This is really important. We believe Americans have the right to speak their mind, even if we in this room disagree with them. They have the right to speak their mind in the public square, which is often online these days. And we're going to defend that right as it pertains to American companies and American citizens vigorously if we have to. I do think that under the President's leadership, we're going to find common ground with our friends in the UK on this question, but it remains to be seen. The principle that will guide us is we believe in free speech in this country, and we'll fight for it for American citizens.
Mr. President, on the deal, is there any other oil and gas component to the deal? Is it all
A little bit. We'll see.
on LNG?
But we're not really looking for that so much. We got a lot. We have more than anybody in the world by far. So no, we're not talking about it too much, but a little bit. I think it affects also, but for the most part, no.
And sir, is there any agreement from Ukraine to purchase U.S. LNG as part of the deal, or is that on the table at all?
No, we don't need that.
Some of those minerals are in the east, Mr. President. You just mentioned that you'd spoken to Vladimir Putin a couple of days ago. Just to be clear, that's a new call, not the one who
I've spoken to him on numerous occasions.
Okay. And how was the latest call? What did you discuss? How did it go?
Are you serious with that question? It went well. I think we're going to have a deal.
On the minerals deal, Mr. President, some of those minerals are in the east of Ukraine, not far from the front lines and in areas that Russia has occupied. Will you direct President Putin to withdraw his forces from those areas if there's U.S. interest?
Well, we'll take a look at the time. We have a lot of area. It's a very big area we're talking about. So we'll take a look. I'll study that and I'll see.
And who would protect those minerals if they are U.S. interests? Would that be Ukrainian
They'll be
forces?
protected. The agreement will protect them.
US
The
forces?
agreement, yeah, we're signing an agreement. You know?
Right, when Russia tries to invade or orders Russian aggression in those spots?
I just told you, I don't think that's going to happen. And if that were going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal. If I thought that was going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal.
Some people they wonder why.
Yeah, you're going to focus on CNN on survival, not asking me these ridiculous questions. Focus on surviving because CNN's got such low ratings. I don't think they're going to survive. Let's go. Please.
Since I already mentioned Poland, Poland was under Russian control for decades after the Second World War. When I was a kid, I looked at the United States not only as a most powerful country, richest country in the world, the country that has great music, great movies, great muscle cars, but also as a force for good. And now I'm talking with my friends in Poland, and they are worried that you align yourself too much with Putin. What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal.
Know it.
You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?"
Here we go.
It doesn't work that way.
He was on.
I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred, and I understand that. But I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough, but you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
I will respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, parts of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact
2015.
2014.
2014. That's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. That people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him. Me, like a new president in 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel. We signed ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people, and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come to the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it into this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to. I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people in your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
See, I think right there, Trump took that as an attack, right? And that's an attack on him. He took it as a personal attack on him. I think that's how it came across, right? But you will feel it in the future. He said, don't tell us how we're feeling. And we're talking about feeling. He's not really talking about feelings. So don't tell us what's going to happen. Don't tell us that we're going to do somehow through failure have a war in our own country. That's the way I took that. What do you guys think? Tell me in the chat.
We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that. Remember that. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influenced.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influenced.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now.
He's trying to tell him to be quiet, and he doesn't get it.
With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, you said thank you. You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
answer? No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You haven't been alone.
In this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion. We gave you military equipment, and you men are brave, but they had to use our military. If you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days. I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks. Of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
times
except
that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on. I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards. You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing if they continue to tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I want this. Look, If you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
where's guarantees?
Because you get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me.
For you what
that wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful.
I'm with you, Matt.
Let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
Well, what if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break it with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? This is going to be great television, I will say that. All right. We'll see what we can do about putting it together. We'll see. I don't
What a clown. What a clown.
All right, so you just heard there that entire joint press conference that was held inside of the Oval Office. And then moments ago, take a look at this video that we just got in from outside of the White House, as you're going to see there, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy exiting.
Get the fuck out.
Now that we know that that joint news conference that was set to happen later on today between both of those world leaders has effectively been canceled. It remains to be seen what is going to happen going forward here between the negotiations of the United States and Ukraine. It may be possible that later on today we are going to get some remarks from President Zelenskyy, although not that joint conference that we were anticipating with both he and President Donald Trump after that tense exchange, about 45 minutes that we showcased here with that playback tape of the Oval Office meeting in which several reporters were asking questions to both of those presidents. Vice President J.D. Vance also there in attendance making some remarks, and you saw really the tense moments towards the end of that.
Shame, ding, ding, shame.
We do also have a recent statement from President Donald Trump in which he does say that, quote, I have determined that President Zelenskyy is not ready for peace if America is involved because he feels our involvement gives him a big advantage in negotiations.
I got that queued
up. He
up.
goes on to say, I don't want advantage. I want peace.
Do that.
He can come back when he is ready for peace. So that was posted on his social media platform, Truth Social, just moments ago. And then this is just a little bit behind.
All right, there we go. We got that. For time's sake, I'm going to stop it right there. But yeah, we can watch that. I got that queued up. We'll do it at winning speed, so everything happens just perfectly. All right. But before we go to that Zelensky's Cope interview on Fox, we will first go and see some reactions. Now I want to get some different reactions. Whoops, what the heck? Okay, there we go. Reactions here. But I want to start with let's just run through it. some surprising reactions. Let me see. Do I want to start with Trump? Yeah, let's start with Trump. President goes first. The president gets to go first. All right. Woo! What a day. Anybody have this on their bingo card? Their bingo card today? Did you have it on there? All right. Let's see. Trump should have made him call an Uber. Yes. Oh, he should have, man. He definitely should have made him call an Uber. I agree with that. That would have been great. Oh no, I have to wait for them to have another ride on the way. He had to share an Uber. That would have been awesome. I noticed some reporters. I noticed some of the reporters support Zelensky's stance. Go figure, leftist gonna bitch. Oh yeah, and they'll just expose themselves for the cucks they are. So let them. Anything they do this day is just exposing themselves. I did not have that on my bingo card either, Roscoe. I did not. All right, watch this. Trump's response. Let me. Yeah. Well, are we good? Are we really good? Okay, there we go. Now we're really good. Let's go.
So thank you very much. So I just want to say we're going down to Florida. We have a big event tomorrow night, a big MAGA event, Make America Great Again. And it's setting records, and otherwise I'd rather be right now at the White House. But we're doing the big event tomorrow night.
That's what we're watching.
We had some big news this week, as you know, because Apple is investing $500 billion. Think of that. And that's going to be a lot. It's going to be a tremendous investment. I guess the biggest investment anybody's ever made in the country at one time. But they're going to be investing a lot of money, $500 billion. We have many other companies have just announced they're coming in. A lot of it's because of how we're doing. We've done a great turnaround in a little more than 30 days, but the country's really doing well. Really doing well. We're respected again all over the world. If you look, we had the Japanese Prime Minister. We had the Prime Minister yesterday of UK, as you know. We had the Prime Minister of India. We have another 20 Prime Ministers and Presidents wanting to come. And it's very good feeling. I think our country has really turned around. We had a meeting today, as you know, with President Zelenskyy, and I would say it didn't work out exactly great from his standpoint. I think he very much overplayed his hand. We're looking for peace. We're not looking for somebody that's going to sign up a strong power and then not make peace because they feel emboldened, and that's what I saw happening. I'm looking for peace. We're not looking to go into a 10-year war and play games. We want peace. And it was just my impression that if we do that, if we sign up, he's looking for something that I'm not looking for. He's looking to go on and fight. We're looking to end the death. 2,000 people died this week, soldiers, more than that, but 2,000 approximately people died this week, young Ukrainians and Russians. And somebody would say, why do you care about Ukraine and Russian soldiers? I care about them. I care about everybody. And we're not doing that. Now, if we don't do anything, he's going to have to make peace, but he's dealing with a very weak set of cards. If we sign, he's dealing with a very strong set of cards, and then he doesn't want to make peace. So that's where we are. It's very simple. I'm not looking to get into anything protracted. I want immediate peace. President Putin is going to want to make, and he wants to end it. And you saw what I saw today. This is a man that wants to get us signed up and keep fighting, and we're not doing that, not for this country. So we're setting a lot of records. Economically, we're setting records, and I think every way we're setting records. One of the best is the right track, wrong track. You saw that. We're on the right track for the first time in over 27 years. People are impressed with that. The other thing is the feeling about our country. The feeling is great. It's up 48% on feeling on business. And that's the record we've never had. There's never been a record where we've ever gone up that much in such a short period of time. So we're doing really well. And I guess some of you are coming with us. And if you are, I hope you're going to have a good flight.
Yeah.
What? He's got to say, I want to make peace. He doesn't have to stand there and say about Putin this, Putin that, all negative things. He's got to say, I want to make peace. I don't want to fight a war any longer. His people are dying. He doesn't have the cards, just so you understand it, okay? I can tell you.
Did you tell Zelenskyy to leave the White House?
I don't have to tell you that. Go ahead. I think you know the answer to that. What? Wait. Look, I don't trust or distrust anybody. I just want to get a deal done. And if the deal happens, good. But you can't embolden somebody that does not have the cards. And all of a sudden that person says, oh, well, now I can keep fighting. We're not going to keep fighting. You're going to get the war done or let them go and see what happens. Let them fight it out.
I want anybody that's going to make peace.
How's it going?
If he's capable of making
Nice
peace,
to meet
which
you.
he may or may not be, but I want somebody that's going to make peace. Again, he doesn't have the cards. When we
Natalie,
sign up, he's got all of the
man.
cards. That doesn't mean he can fight. He's got to
Natalie,
stop the
Natalie,
fighting, stop
meet you.
the death. He's losing hundreds
Oh,
of
that's my
thousands
reading.
of soldiers. It's time to stop the death.
I did my reading.
Say it.
How long do you think it would take Zelensky want this ending? What does that feel like?
Well, he says he wants it now. He wants to come back right now, but I can't do that. I can't. They should have an immediate ceasefire. That was the other thing. He didn't want to do about ceasefire. A ceasefire could take place immediately. A contract, if you want to end the war, you sign up an agreement. That's going to take a period of time. It takes time. I want it to end immediately. And I think if you had a ceasefire, it would be a ceasefire, a real one, that would end it. But he doesn't want to do that. That's fine. Do it better.
Yeah, it became very apparent, didn't
I
it?
want it to end immediately. I
apparent.
want a ceasefire now. He says, oh, I don't want a ceasefire. Well, all of a sudden, he's a big shot because he has the U.S. on his side. Either we're going to end it or let him fight it out. And if he fights it out, it's not going to be pretty. Because without us, he doesn't win. Let me tell you. It doesn't matter what I'm considering. I'm just telling you. You saw what I saw today. That was not a man that wanted to make peace. And I'm only interested if he wants to end the bloodshed. Thank you very much.
All right, there he goes.
All right,
Yeah,
President Trump there.
Awful Marine.
What we all watch
There he goes.
in
There
the
he
Oval
goes.
Office
Awful
between
Marine
he
one.
and
There he
Volodymyr
goes.
Zelensky saying
On his
that he's
way.
looking for something. I'm not looking
Let
for
me just shut this
saying
guy
that.
up. Yeah. Okay. Enough of you. But yeah, the nice freeze frame. Yeah, pretty much that's what it was, Madcore. He said he wanted to come back. Oh no, I'm so sorry now. Like, no, man. You go sleep on it. You go sleep on it, decide whether you want peace or not. You want to keep fighting a war that we're pretty much propping you up for, and you couldn't fight on your own. Yeah, no more of that. No more of that. All right. Now what I want to show you is what's next here. Well, even some people you wouldn't be surprised. You'd think that maybe this guy would come out and start bad mouthing Trump, but you know what? I was so kind of surprised by this next one.
Let's watch.
So, what I think, complete, utter disaster. I've been to Ukraine 8 or 9 times since the war started. I understand the consequences of Putin's actions against Ukraine. I appreciate what the Ukrainian people have done. They fought like tigers. At the end of the day, I was hoping that this minerals deal, which would be transformative in the relationship, would go over well. I talked to Zelensky this morning. Don't take the bait. President Trump was in a very good mood last night. Somebody asked me, am I embarrassed about Trump? I have never been more proud of the president. I was very proud of J.D. Vance standing up for our country. We want to be helpful. What I saw in the Oval Office was disrespectful, and I don't know if we can ever do business with Zelensky again. I think most Americans saw a guy that they would not want to go in business with. The way he handled the meeting, the way he confronted the president,
He had an
was just
agenda.
over the top.
It wasn't the
So I
peace
think
agenda
the relationship
at
between
all.
Ukraine and America is important, vitally important. But can Zelensky do a deal with the United States? After what I saw, I don't know.
What would he need to do, sir?
Senator Graham. You just had lunch with President Trump. What did he say to you about his interactions and whether he thinks
He was shocked. He was very upbeat. I told Zelensky, we'll talk about security guarantees. We'll talk about ceasefires and how the war ends. This is a process. You have a new relationship with America, a $500 billion, $500 billion deal that President Trump is proud of, that gives us an interest worth defending. Let's talk about the positive. But he was terrible at Munich, Zelensky, and I think he has made it almost impossible to sell to the American people that he's a good investment, that he is a good business partner.
Last question. Hey, one at a time. One at a time. Christian Daytop.
Senator Graham, thank you. Do you think President Zelensky needs to resign?
Is my phone ringing?
He either needs to resign and send somebody over that we can do business with, or he needs to change.
Do you
Thank you.
Y'all hear my phone ringing? That's one of my favorite lines from that movie Fridays. I don't know. Yeah. With Ice Cube. There, I'm sitting on the porch. One of my favorites. All right. So, as promised, we'll get to the Zelensky response.
The most viral.
Hold on. Let's stop that. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, that's where we're at. Okay. And let's see. Let's welcome Natalie McClendon. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Natalie, would you like to be number 650? You could be 650. All you gotta do is hit that follow, and you will be the 650 follower on Rumble, and that's a number you can always remember. There you go. All right. Thank you for stopping by. There's been a lot of nice people over here. A lot of nice base people over here. People that get you. There you go. That's who we are. That's who we are here. Let's see. Graham, the Warhawk, who said to Zelensky, nothing better than killing Russians. Lindsey Graham is a rhino. Oh, Scott, you don't got to tell me that, man. I don't trust Lindsey as far as I could throw him, but the he came out and supported President Trump, and that's a good thing. So what are you gonna do, man? People need to vote the guy out, put a new guy in there, and then we don't have to ever think about him again, right? He wanted a I want more money and weapons agenda before he could strike a minerals deal. No money for you. Exactly. The minerals deal is to pay us back. Act like he's doing us a favor. No. No, that's you paying us back. In fact, the minerals deal should be like, we just get it. Because there's no way you're going to pay back that money. And after you pay back what you owe us, then we'll start cutting you in on it. But for now, I mean, dude, you're borrowing money from Europe, but you're taking money from us. How is that fair? Right? And what's our remedy? How do we get that back? How do we recoup the cost of taking care of your little skirmish there? You act like just Russia just attacked you out of the blue. That's not what it was. There's a long history going on here, right? Now we're in the middle of it, and because you were dealing with the corrupt establishment and you're used to them bending over backwards to give you money so you can launder it back to them, you think that's still going on? No, it's still going on, man. I know you're corrupt, but it's not like, we have team non-corruption over here now, right? The team we've been working on for a very long time, and we've suffered greatly to get it, right? But we're here now, so catch up. But they should have had elections over there and gotten rid of this guy. He's been failing Ukraine left and right the entire time. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure the people want to get rid of him, but no elections. Yeah, that's what dictators do. Well, you're trying to say, well, no, Putin's a dictator. No, they couldn't have two dictators fighting at the same time. He's become a dictator, right? This is the thing. He's at that point now, and it's been enabled. He's been enabled by the corrupt establishment that's out there. He's in neck deep with all this stuff, and he won't be lasting very long, I don't think. Let's see. Yep, that's right. But you could hear early in the press conference that he was leading. He wasn't talking this. He wasn't speaking the same language as Trump. He didn't have the same tone. He kept going back to all the things Russia had done, and he thought he was going to come over there and get a big thing with his pictures. He brought pictures. He did all kinds of things, man. But they didn't sit. I started detecting it early on. They weren't on the same page. He had something that he wanted, and he wanted to keep fighting and get funding, and then we'll give you the minerals. No, I don't think so. The minerals, we're probably going to take those anyways, because you owe us money, and you can't pay it back. You don't have the money to pay us back, and you owe everybody else money. So we got to take something. We're going to take those minerals, right? See, you wanted the money when you needed it, right? You wanted it. You wanted the weapons. You wanted support. You got it. You didn't get the job done, but now it's time to pay us back, right? And then you're paying Europe back. Those are all loans. Oh, I'll pay you back. How are you going to pay him back? With our money? You're going to borrow money from us to pay back Europe? So is that what the plan is? I mean, how are you going to do it? Nah, man. Give up the minerals. Trump will get the minerals for us. We need those minerals. We do. So those will be ours. Thank you for that. All right. So that'll be, at least we'll feel like we recoup something. And we do need those minerals big time. So that's a good deal. That's a good deal. All right. So maybe Russia should just carve up the country and be forced to release it back to the countries that already it belongs to. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just one step at a time. First step, stop shooting at each other, right? Stop bombing each other. Stop killing people. That's it. Get there first. Let's work the rest out once people, with the loss of life stops, right? That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Zelenskyy, white lines, a vision, dreams of passion blowing through my mind, right? Even I need reminders from time to time. It's always best to say those that have betrayed the American people so we don't forget. It's always best to say those that have betrayed the American people so we don't forget. Yep. Say them. Say them. Okay. Just make sure Putin realizes they can't make up parts of Russian empire. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a thing. I really don't. It's just about getting them to stop, and I don't know, like giving Russia the go ahead to carve up Ukraine. That probably wouldn't fly over too well. Russia insults was a losing battle right from the start. Yeah, POTUS Trump was right about everything. Yeah, absolutely, and that's why we have him in charge. Can you imagine if that was Kamala Harris? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What would she have done? What would she have done? Nothing. Nothing. In fact, if that meeting probably wouldn't even happen. Yep, long history, at least all the way back to the USSR days, if not further. Yep, absolutely. I'm telling you, if you really want to understand the history of the Ukraine Russia conflict, at least from the perspective of Putin, I covered it. It's in my collection here. You can hear my comments along with it if you want. At the time, that's where I was thinking. When we did the interview, we covered the interview where Tucker Carlson went to Russia to interview Vladimir Putin, and the first, I don't know, 45 minutes is Putin giving a history lesson in very great detail. It reminded me of how bad communication is here in the United States, and how it reminds me of my trip to Europe and my observations of European people having conversations. It's a completely different thing. I think I talk about that in the video, but he sits down to say, okay, I thought you want to have a conversation here. Is this for TV or do you want to learn? So he sits down there and has a very educated conversation with him. Take it for what it's worth. He produces documents to back up what he's saying out of the Russian archives. I felt like he was being at least sincere from his point of view on it and their understanding of history. But he was very learned about the whole thing. But take it for what it's worth. Watch it. I think it's worth watching. I actually watched it twice, just trying to make sure I got my head around it. And I think it's worth watching. At least the history lesson in the up front is worth watching. And even Tucker's confused by it. He's like, I don't understand what's going on. I thought they were doing something to me. Because he's so Americanized, he couldn't understand someone sitting down and having an actual conversation with him when they're trying to make a point through using valid examples in history and backing that up and really giving him a full explanation. He's so used to these jokers over here that he couldn't get his head around it. He thought he was being trolled. He thought something was up. And then he realized, then I realized later on that I was actually having a real conversation with a grown-up. Wow. How about that? So anyways, it's worth watching. I'm sure the link will be out there somewhere. If not, go find it. I can't remember. I think it's an Unveiling Reality show. So if you look under the Unveiling Reality playlist, you're probably going to find the one where Tucker Carlson interviews Putin, and there you have your history. All right, so coming up right in here, right now, we're going to get this guy, this clown of the year nominee, Vladimir Zelenskyy. We're going to get his take and look at what a pouty little boy he is right now. Oh my goodness gracious. Somebody didn't get what they wanted. Now they're going to hold their breath. This isn't going to go well for you, dude. Let me tell you you're at right now. Let me get a few more comments before we start, though, but you can see on the screen where we're going next. Okay. I can't stand Graham, but occasionally he says something worthwhile. Yep. I think he smells Trump's mentality holding power for the next decade or so. So he has to switch gears, at least look like one of us. Well, that's what neocons do. But he will be going away soon. So Don't you worry about that. Somebody's gonna get motivated, and someone will get Trump's blessing, and he'll be gone. He's done too many questionable things, plus his history. We all got it. I don't know that Lindsey could ever be trusted. Sometimes Trump likes him, sometimes he doesn't. I think Trump plays into it a little bit so that he can garner his support and then wait for him to mess it up, right? Kind of like with Zelenskyy, right? He's like, yeah, man, we'll work it out. You know, let's have common goals. We don't have to agree on everything. And then they screw it up, right? That's just like everybody else, you know, that does that shit. You know, like, you know, people that are trying to act like you're your friend to your face, and then they stab you behind the back and try to ruin you behind your back. Those kind of people, we've seen, there's plenty of those people around. I mean, we've seen them in the past, and we see them in the present, and we'll probably see them in the future. But you know, you always give them a chance. Say, well, we probably don't agree on everything, you know. Just don't play dirty, don't do bad things, but inevitably they will, and they'll show themselves. So that's when you go, see ya. All right. I've done a lot of business in Poland, Levy says. It's a very different negotiation strategy there. Trump played it well. And that's cool. That's cool. You know what? They're pretty based over there, man. They're pretty based over there. So I can understand his respect for them. Definitely can. Ukraine isn't part of NATO, so it should be up for grabs. America first. You know, there's that. We can have 52 states. I'm counting Canada as well. I'm just trolling with that, but anyways, yeah. So Governor Zelenskyy would have to be paying the price there, but you know, they would always vote left. So I'll just leave that there. See, is it? I don't know what we're doing. Oh yeah. Oh, you're talking about Kamala. Yep. Word salad. She wouldn't know what to do. Not at all. And then you would have had what? Tim Walz in there trying to back her up. Oh my God. We are so lucky. Thank God for the way things turned out. Whew. Let's see. I learned the dark history of Ukraine through friends on X, where their historical lessons were made full circle to family ties and lineage. It was impressive, and I started digging wild history. Yeah, we've done that interview, which is the Russian side, and we did a documentary called Ukraine's on Fire, and that was a good documentary, which kind of talked about, you know, Zelenskyy ties and how they came to power and stuff like that. So you combine those two together. Good. And you put those two things together, you learn a lot. You get a good deal of it. Right now, we see how he's acting, and he needs to go. Hey, Farrell, how you doing? Trump ain't stupid. That's true. That is true. There is the link to the Putin Tucker interview. It's over there on Rumble. I guess that's where we watched it. But because YouTube may have caused problems with it. I don't know. Usually if it's over on Rumble exclusively, it's because YouTube won't allow me to play it, or they block it, or they do something really stupid. They interfere with the live stream quality of the live stream by, you know, giving you warnings and breaking, you know, maybe sometimes taking you offline for like minutes at a time. So I try to give you guys the best experience possible. So I don't want that. We're going to get to this interview here in a second. Just trying to catch up with the chat here. Wow, we got so many great people talking in here. Try to get everybody's take on it, and then everybody gets talking to themselves and all that stuff. There's Ronnie Jam over there on the Rumble side. Thank you for being a supporting member over there. It really helps the channel out a lot. Thank you so much. That is great. And you're number 3. You're the third member on the Rumble side, and that's a memorable number. It's memorable. You can remember it. You're top 3. All right, we're almost ready to go. Yep, there's a reason why Ukraine was never NATO, because USSR and later Russia kept itself at bay as long as Ukraine was never in NATO. Yeah, then they said specifically, we won't go to war if you don't probably bring them into NATO. So we need some space between us and NATO. That's what they said, and it makes sense. I mean, especially since NATO was designed to protect Europe against Russia. I mean, you put missiles on the border. That's not cool. Kamala, I mean, well, it wouldn't be uncomfortable for them, and put it that way. Kamala would have just sent Zelenskyy money so she wouldn't have to meet with him. Yeah, just write him a check. It ain't my money anyways. All right, let's go. All right, Zelenskyy, cope for us. Let's go.
Mr. President, thank you for the time today, especially on this day, to continue to do this interview. President Trump said after your meeting that you disrespected him and the vice president and all of America in the Oval
Sure
Office.
did.
Do you think you did? And do you think you owe an apology to President Trump?
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you for the invitation for this dialogue, and good evening to all your country, to all Americans. I'm very thankful to Americans for all your support. You did a lot. I'm thankful to President Trump and to Congress bipartisan support. And I was always very thankful from all our people. You helped us a lot from the very beginning during 3 years of full-scale innovation. You helped us to survive. Anyway, we are strategic partners, and even in such tough dialogue. And I think we have to be very honest, and we have to be very direct to understand each other, because it's very, for us, very necessary to President Trump. And I'm with all respect that he wants to finish this war, but nobody wants to finish more than we, because we in Ukraine, we are in this war, we are in this battle, and battle for freedom for our lives. So I'm just telling that I think that we have to be on the same side, and I hope that the president on our side together with us, and that is very important to stop Putin. And I heard from President Trump a lot of times that he will stop the war, and I hope he will, and we need to pressure him with Europe, with all the partners. And I think this dialogue had to be a little bit earlier to understand where we are. Like, I don't remember exactly, but like President Reagan said, that peace is not just an absent the war. Yes, we're speaking about just and lasting peace, about freedom, about justice, about human rights. And that's why I said that I think so, that ceasefire, and Putin, he broken 25 times ceasefire during all these years, 10 years.
So I'm not hearing from you, Mr. President, a thought that you owe the president an apology.
No, I respect the president, and I respect American people. And I think that we have to be very open and very honest, and I'm not sure that we did something bad. I think maybe sometimes some things we have to discuss out of media, with all respect to democracy and to a free media. But there are things where we have to understand the position of Ukraine and Ukrainians, and I think that is the most important thing. Yes, we are partners. We are very close partners. We have to be fair. We have to be very free.
I'm told that you were told multiple times from lawmakers on Capitol Hill and the White House to make today about the minerals deal and the economic deal, and then get it signed and let negotiations play out over security guarantees step by step. Is that true?
I said that we have to sign this document, and we are ready for this. And this will be the first step to security guarantees. But it's not enough. I think so. Maybe I don't know something. I don't know some details. That's why I wanted to share it with the president, my thoughts, and to hear him again, because he has a plan how to stop Putin. And maybe, as I said, maybe it's out of big conversations, but we have to share it. This is so sensitive. Just a ceasefire without security guarantees. This is so sensitive for our people. I'm speaking like a president of a people who are in the struggle 3 years, and they just want to hear that America on our side, and that America will stay with us, not with Russia, with us. That's it. But I'm sure that it will be. This is the first step to security guarantees. Europeans, we don't need to lose them. They are good allies for the United States. The United States is the most or the biggest donator of support and of peace. But we don't need to lose Europe. And they also want to know next steps. We have to be very open to understand how to stop the war.
Right. But do you think the public spat in the Oval Office in front of the media served Ukrainians well today?
I think this kind of spat this is not good for both sides anyway. And I'm very open, but I can't, change our Ukrainian attitude to Russia. And I don't want they kill us for us. This is very, very clear that Americans are the best of our friends, Europeans are the best of our friends, and Putin with Russian, they're enemies. And it doesn't mean that we don't want peace. We just want to recognize the reality, the real situation.
President Trump is convinced that you will never sign a deal with Vladimir Putin. Is he right?
No, I think so. What I think, Ukraine wants peace, and we will have anyway diplomacy. We will have negotiations.
Jacob Castro, what is up, my friend? How you doing?
It's about just and lasting peace.
What you up to, dude?
It means that we have to be very strong at the table of negotiations. And at these
FBI
negotiations,
in New York's going to
Ukraine and Russia, like sides of this war, have to be, and the United States and Europe. That's what I said. So we are ready for peace,
Ooh,
we
Antran,
have to
happy
be in a
Friday.
strong position.
Good to see you.
What does it mean? Just to know that our army is strong, that our partners with us, and that we have security guarantees. Am I not right?
Leaving the White House today, President Trump said this.
He's looking to go on and fight. He wants to come back right now, but I can't do that.
What do you make of that? Do you want to continue fighting? Do you want peace? And if he had the opportunity to go back to the White House right now, would you do it?
No. First of all, we want peace. That's why I'm in the United States. That's why I visited President Trump. And thanks for the invitation again. The deal on minerals is the first step to security guarantees. It's meant for the peace, closer to peace. That's why I'm here.
That's right, Cynthia.
And we have tough situation. To understand it is to be in Ukraine. You saw it, Brad. You was once. Thank you again. So I think that's very important to understand what's going on.
Appreciate
that. But I respect my soldiers and our people, our civilians who work and support our warriors. I can't say just stop. Nobody will stop because everybody afraid that Putin will come back tomorrow. We want just and lasting peace. It's true. We want security guarantees.
Man.
We raise this topic about NATO the quickest way, but not all the countries are on this side. I said, okay, if not NATO, nobody is pushing. If not NATO, let's build NATO in Ukraine. That's my position. Europeans are ready to have contingents on our territory, boots on the ground. United States thinks maybe to help, maybe USA backstop, have to be just to guarantee that they are with Europeans. Look at Europe. It's strong. It became stronger, but they also want to have allies like the United States. That's what I said. I just want to understand what the peace. It's not my question, Brad. This is the question from all our people.
You mentioned when I traveled to the front lines with you last year to see the situation, to mark the anniversary of the war, and this is what you told me back then.
Yep.
Will Ukrainians survive without Congress support? Of course, but not all of us. It will be tragedy for all of us, not only for Ukraine, not only for Ukrainians, for all Europe.
Yeah. So the question today is, can Ukraine win this war or hold off Russia without continued U.S. support?
It will be difficult for us. That's why I'm here. That's why we speak about the future negotiations. It will be difficult without your support, but we can't lose our values, our people. We can't lose our freedom. So a lot of people,
right?
The Russians came to our
He blew it
territory.
for everybody.
The Russians came to our houses, and everybody saw it, video, images, a lot of things. They killed so many people. Just to forget it, just to say that Putin is a great guy. No, without us, we don't want it. That's why we speak about, everybody remembered how it was the first days of the war, how they came. Nobody
What's up, hard
wants
member? How
Ukraine.
you doing?
Yes,
How
of
you
course,
doing?
nobody will forget it, but nobody wants to have, again, new wave of occupation. That's why when we say, no NATO, what security guarantees can we have? I'm not pushing. We're not pressuring. We're just asking. We're just sharing very clear messages to our friends, to Americans.
Yep. Right.
If you stay with us, thank you so much. But let's do the infrastructure of security guarantees. Let's just share with
Lex,
our people,
what's up, man?
just with our people that America, stay with us. That's great. We count on it. But just to share it and to say
We've
it,
done it
that's
a
all.
day.
How does the war end? How do you get to a deal? You're at a place right now where there is no deal. How do you get it back on track?
I think that Europe is ready for contingents and to help us with financing of big army, such big as we have now. This is our army, the part of security guarantees. Now we want to find the place for our biggest strategic partner, for the United States, or United States will propose where and how the United States will give us security guarantees, what kind of and what part of volume of security guarantees. And when we will be ready with this, we will come to diplomacy. To diplomacy, yes, with Russians, Europeans, United States, and we.
Is that
For
good?
us, I think this is real way, because with weapon, it's too long. It's not enough. We don't have enough weapon to push them out, and we don't see now. For now, we don't see really big volume of new support from the United States. But with all respect, again, so for today, we'll be ready with security guarantee. Really, when I say NATO, it's not about that we are focusing on this word. It's about very understandable infrastructure of security guarantees. And you see that no NATO countries for today, no NATO countries been under attacks.
Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina, he has been a big proponent of you and of Ukraine, said this today after the meeting.
I have never been more proud of the president. I was very proud of J.D. Vance.
Oh, I can say
standing
that,
up
yeah.
for our country. We want to be helpful. What I saw in the Oval Office was disrespectful, and I don't know if we can ever do business with Zelenskyy again. He either needs to resign and send somebody over that we can do business with, or he needs to change.
So he says you need to consider resigning. Is that on the table?
I don't know if he will be happy after my words. This decision can do only people of Ukraine.
You're not going to step down to do a peace deal.
No, I
Have
was
someone else take over.
always ready. I'm not sure that is a good idea for this such proposals. But anyway, I always said if United States will support NATO, so I think that it's enough for Ukraine. So I think I did all I had to do. And if somebody is not happy with me, okay. But between us, yes, Americans vote for American president. Each European country vote for their president, and only Ukrainian. With all respect to Lindsay, if I can say Lindsay, we know each other. Yes, and only Ukrainians.
Democrats have had
their president.
Democrats have had the opposite reaction to the Oval Office meeting. Democratic Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut posted this: "What just happened in the Oval Office was a planned ambush designed to help a brutal Russian dictator and hurt America's security. Trump has become Putin's lapdog, and America's global power is hemorrhaging as America sides with dictators over democracy."
What a cock, dude! This guy doesn't know shit.
Embarrassment. Do you think the confrontation in the Oval Office today was pre-planned, like Senator Murphy suggests?
I don't know.
You don't know. You think maybe?
I don't know. No. I don't. I don't know about it. I think no. I think it was just a really tough situation because we've been very open, very direct.
What set you off? What made you mad? Because they said your tenor and tone.
It's not about mad. It's not, Brad. You see, how to say, when you are in the United States, and for example, president or vice president or somebody or senators, it doesn't matter, big politicians, yes, when they, for example, say that Ukraine is almost destroyed, that our soldiers run away, that they are not heroes, that Ukraine lost millions of civilians, that his president is dictator, what is the reaction? It's not about me. The reaction is that where is our friendship between Ukraine and the United States? That's it. This is filling. And that's why I do not want to lose our great partners at the United States. And I just said that it's not the first time. I said it by phone, and we had some other conversations, and we had in Munich meetings, and I said, please, be correct. I want to be very polite. Be correct with this number. When you say about the number, each person is important. When you say about 1 million of losses, we don't have any million of losses. When you speak about the territories, maybe some territories and etc., it's not just territory, it's houses, it's people's lives. Their fathers, mother, their relatives, grandfather, they died or during this war. Nobody wants to forgive Putin. It's not funny, or fairy tale. This is real life. That's what I said. And when you said it, a lot of times to my big friends who've been here today in our dialogue, and then they again begin to repeat the same things. I think it's not. That's why I said it's not a good way between partners, good partners and friends. That's it. And I think that if a journalist asking questions to president, with all respect to vice president, he has his interview.
Mr.
This
President,
is our dialogue.
Shouldn't this dynamic, if you're going to be like this, be behind closed doors? Not
of course. And
so do you regret that? Are you regretting that happened today?
Regretting? Yes, I think it was not good. I think it was not good because we had a lot of different dialogues. I'm always open to media, but there are very sensitive things. I just want to be honest, and I just want our partners to understand the situation correctly. And I want to understand everything correctly. That's about us. Not to lose our friendship.
A couple more things. What are the next steps in your mind? Here we are today. What are the next steps?
I think so. United States wanted this deal very much, and we've been not against this deal, but we wanted to understand what parts in security guarantees will take this deal and what next steps.
Yeah, that's called communication breakdown.
During the war, what you don't like, even sometimes
doesn't get it.
Surprises. It's understandable.
It's trying to put
many
the cart
terrible
before the
things this war brought to us. So we don't want any surprises. Yes, that's why we want to be very fair with our partners. And I think this deal, it was prepared by teams. It was not simple during weeks. And now it's ready. I think that they have to sign. The countries have to sign. The ministers have to sign. That's it. I don't know when they will do it. It depends on the American side.
So the minerals deal did not have security guarantees listed in it.
It's a part.
The security guarantees?
This is the part in the infrastructure of security guarantees. Because, for example, President Trump...
Let me stop this asshole real quick. Yeah, security... Where's the money, dude? Where's the money, Zelenskyy? Right? He didn't understand. He didn't seem to to even, this is the thing that they're talking about, disrespectful. No, I need security guarantees. Fuck you. Give us the minerals, right? You owe us so much money over this stupid freaking war that you're mishandling and you're getting your people killed. You don't want peace, right? And you're, wow, it's security guarantees. What, like you haven't had security guarantees the entire time, and all the freaking money. Like Trump said, I gave you javelins, I gave you spears, or whatever the fuck he calls them, right? It's like you have security guarantees. If we have a mineral deal, nobody's gonna go fuck with our minerals, all right? Because then they fuck with us. There's your security. What planet is this guy on? But I'm gonna blow a deal because I want security guarantees. What does that mean? More money for you? Is that what in the sign a security check? Is that what you want? Security deposit? No, you owe us billions and billions and billions of dollars. All right. You've killed millions. I guess I don't know how many people they've killed a lot of people in that country, and they've killed a lot of people in another country. All right. You literally are destroying your entire country, and you're bickering, you're nitpicking over some made up security thing. You already got security. You got security from a lot of people looking out for that place, right? And you've had security guarantees for a long time. What do you think we're just going to pull out and all of a sudden Russia's going to come get you? I mean, what kind of drugs are you on, dude? Like, it's very clear. Peace deal first. Okay, that comes in the form of a ceasefire, then the death stop, right? You start paying us back with your minerals, right? We don't have a lot of those minerals here. We need them. Okay, now you got a little bit of leverage with the minerals, but that doesn't mean you go asking for security because you owe the boss money. You owe the boss man money, right? Now you're paying back Europe. You're going to just get a loan. Yeah, I got a loan from Europe. That's nice, right? But you got to just take our money and disrespect us and just take our money, right? And then this is the thing that he's doing, right, guys? Isn't that what y'all seeing? Isn't that what you're all seeing with this guy? Right? He's so stupid, right, Lex? He doesn't even realize the mineral deal is better than a security guarantee. Exactly, Lex, hitting the nail on the head there, man. And this guy keeps going on and on. It's like, how stupid are you, dude? And he called JD a bitch. Well, yeah, I like to see him try to back that up. I like to see him try to back that up, little tap dancing actor. Yeah, JD will stomp your ass in the ground. JD ain't no joke. All right. Let's see. Yeah, he got upset about Vance speaking up. He can suck it. Let's see. Where am I at here? I'll get behind. Let's see. He keeps pushing for a private meeting away from the media's eyes. Why? We voted for transparency. No, because then people can't see him acting like a little baby, and that's what did him in today. That's what did him in today. Security guarantees are coming from the EU and past administrations. They taught Zelenskyy to deny Trump, but it's not going to work. Sign that freaking peace deal. Yeah, especially when the money goes away. And we'll take all the shit, man. Well, good luck. We'll make some popcorn, and we'll see how long you last against Putin without us. You ain't gonna do it. You'll fold, and you know what? I'll tell you what will happen. Let me tell you what's gonna happen. This is my prediction. All right. If he keeps cucking out like this, right, and you think someone's coming to rescue him, they're not. All right, Trump's gonna back up what he says, okay? All right, and then his own people are gonna take him out. That's what I think is gonna happen. I think before Putin even gets a chance, even winds up for the big right hook, right? He could be taken out from the inside, and then we're like, no, we got a new guy. Mr. Trump, we'd like to talk to you, please. You want some minerals? We got some minerals for you. Who likes minerals, right? The rare earth. Yeah. Who likes them? We got some guys. So you guys, we'll put them in a nice little basket. We'll wrap them up for you. Put a bow on it. Here you go. Look, all the minerals you want. Please stop this guy. Right. So yeah, I think there'll be an internal. This is just my gut feeling. I have nothing to back this up. My gut feeling is if he blows this with Trump, and then when we pull out and we stop funding him, right? I don't know who's going to come up there and start giving him money. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know who else he's friends with, but if he loses the money and it's just him against Russia with no U.S. backing at all, right? I think that someone is going to be like, you know what? We probably need somebody else to lead us. You're going to need to go away now. What do you guys think about that? This is why he should not be a leader. Yeah, he does not get how a deal works. He just wants the war to continue so he can keep getting funds from America, I guess, or he thinks like in some kind of crazy delusional way he can win it, or like that he needs to defeat Putin. Like, and this will be his big day, and then they're gonna put a statue up of him and give him a parade and all this other shit. I don't know what he thinks his delusions of grandeur are leading him to believe, right? But have you ever seen a world leader screw up this bad? I can't recall. The last time a world leader screwed up this bad was Biden pulling out of Afghanistan, and that was an action. This isn't just like blowing a deal that's going to completely destroy your country, and break you at the same time. So yeah, good luck with that, Z there, Mr. Z man. No more backroom deals. Yeah, no more. That's the past. We don't do that. Projection, gaslight, manipulation, narcissism. It's all coming from Z. Yeah, well, he's a product of the environment. He's a total product of that demoralization process that's been running for decades now. If he was smart, he knows American companies, they're digging is itself. It's a security guarantee, right? He doesn't get it. I think that means he wants money. Like, right? Because how can you be so stupid as not to realize that if you have American companies there, they're protected by the American military, and an attack on our companies or attack on our land that we have a deal for is an attack on us. It's like attacking, Milwaukee or something, right? Like, you're not going to attack the U.S. If you do, well, meet the military, the greatest military on earth. That's just gonna completely smoke you in under a day. So don't do that. No one wants that, especially depleted Russia. A depleted Russia. They're so hurting right now. They are so hurting right now. Like, they're depleted. They're as depleted as Ukraine. They've both beaten themselves up for years and years and years and years. They can't handle this. They don't want the smoke. They can't handle the smoke. They can't do it. All right, he wants his tit back to suckle. Yep, sure does. All right. Where are we at? Okay, cool. Still jamming, man. We're still jamming. Yeah. Jacob Scott's popcorn. Come on, bring it on. Keep pushing it, Zelenskyy. Now you're on Fox News trying to act like you're a victim. Oh, geez. The irony and justice, right? I know. Hey, you know what? Man, it all comes back around, doesn't it? He's been stealing money from us, taking money from us with a stupid war that he should have ended and not been in the first place. And, the whole thing is just corruption gone wrong. We're at the end of the rabbit hole for the corruption, man. Here you go. This is where it all falls apart for the useful idiots, right? Because the consent is being removed that enables the corrupt establishment globally and nationally here, right? And as people start to go to the other side and remove their consent for all the bullshit they either didn't pay attention to or thought was okay because they were mind controlled by a narrative that they should have known better than to buy into. But hey man, it's a busy world. It's a busy world out there. We get it. But now that people are waking up, they're coming to the conclusions, and they're starting to see things the way they are. They have those moments of clarity, right? The tipping point is moving over to the other side. That removes all their free will that they were giving towards that corrupt establishment's now being taken away. And as that happens, they lose their power, because that's where power comes from. I explain this all the time on the show. I won't rant about it right now because we're in a groove here. But if you want to know more about my takes on consent and how that really is the true power in the world, just subscribe, hang out. I'll definitely go over it again. I've been over it many times. I love that topic. It's something you won't hear anywhere else. I promise you that. All right. UK and France have gassed him up to think he can win this, and boy, are they wrong. Yep. Ronnie Jam says he thought it was going to be a quick ATM swipe. No, not today. Not today, dude. When he was ready to come to the table with Putin a year or so ago, UK Prime Minister, and Macron ran and told him he couldn't. They harpooned that opportunity before it could happen. Yeah, big mistake by those guys, because they'll completely get banged if we're not there. And Biden too. Yeah, they'll get run over. I didn't count Biden because, of course, they doubt Zelenskyy, Blinken maybe. And we got a super chat for someone new's hanging out, man. I checked out your channel, man. I see what you got going on. This is my old videos over there from way back 14 years ago or so. But let's welcome him with the way we always do. First super chat ever from the hard member. Hard member, thank you for the super chat. $2 super chat. Thank you so much. When you're out of ammo, you're in a war, fight and win. Yep. That's right, man. That's right. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Looks like we're all on the same page here. Zelenskyy. Okay, he came to protest without a suit and it was found wanting, says Scott Hotbeck. Scott does not like the fact he's the guy the reporter was talking about. He's the American the reporter was talking about. Doesn't like the fact you didn't wear a suit. Well, I figured like if you're in the middle of a war, you know, I don't know, man. Maybe you should. I would have wore a suit. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't have worn a suit. It's kind of his thing, though, isn't he? Always the dude who doesn't wear a suit or is all militaried up and like, you know, it's like his brand now. It's probably like, you know, kind of like, you know, just it's his brand. I think that's why he shows up like that. But it's funny the reporter called him out. You know, it's really funny the reporter called him out. Thank you for your super chat again, hard member. Zelenskyy doesn't seem to understand that we got a foothold over there and the rest will fall into place. Yeah, I don't know why I mean, I guess he's just used to dealing with cuckold Biden, you know, a cuckold president. And he did, yeah, I don't know why this is like speaking to his intelligence level now. Like, I think he's really low intelligence, man. And like, you know, if we want to save Ukraine, we probably need to get them a new leader. I mean, they need a new leader, like yesterday, because that's probably what's going to save them before anything else, right? Let's see. I'm sure Biden was telling him, "You could do this. You could win. We will help you. Yeah, just launder more money for me." Right? He probably thought he was getting the second term too. You know, here's the funny thing. He was like, "I was the guy who kept Trump from having 2 terms." Well, actually, Trump was the guy who kept you from having 2 terms. You'll never be back. So, isn't that funny? Everything turns around on these people, man. And I love it. I love it. I love it when assholes get their due, man. When they get what's coming to them. That's why we're in this fight, right, guys? That's what we're in. We're tired of we're tired of creepy, weirdo authoritarians always ruling over us, man. We're tired of that shit, man. That's why we're in this fight. That's why we show up. That's why we keep on learning, keep our minds open, and keep us ourself based in reality. Laugh out loud. He wore a jogging suit. Cool. Jog your ass out of the Oval Office. Yes, jog it out. Yep. Scott would have worn a nice suit. I've never seen another country leader show up without a suit, especially as rich as this bastard is. Yeah, he shouldn't be rich, but yeah, he could have bought a nice suit. You know, he could have bought a nice suit. I don't know that you know, calling him out on it in the middle of a negotiation was proper for our side to do. I mean, I just think, look, it's a fragile situation. We're trying to end a war. Let's all just focus on that. I don't give a fuck if he didn't know how to dress, you know, at that point. But yeah, I understand. Some people are they're big on the professionalism. Let's get back to this.
I'm sure that I think so that if we will be there in some productions and etc. in mineral, that Putin will never come on this territory where we are. And I said to him, don't trust Putin. Why? I said, because it's not, I mean, we respect and we believe in strongness of the United States. But I said to him that we had more than 20 companies, American companies, big companies on the territory of Ukraine. And we had offices, even on temporary occupied territories. For Putin, it doesn't matter. It's American, European company or Ukraine. It doesn't matter. He just came and occupied it. That's what I said. I think this is a great idea.
Hey, what's up, Snipe? How you doing?
Ukraine and how to make business between 2 countries, how to make additional jobs for 2 countries. But it's not just these will not save us.
I read what the Democratic senator said, that Trump has become Putin's lapdog. Do you agree with that President Trump is too close to Vladimir Putin in your mind?
We spoke about it. And I think today, very openly, President Trump, he said that I want to be in the middle. Otherwise, I will not put these guys at the table.
And is he right?
I want to be very honest. I want really him to be more at our side. I will explain why.
Oh, yeah? You think
it's not just that the war began somewhere between our countries. The war began when Russia brought this war to our country, and they're not right. And they are not right. They didn't respect our territorial integrity. They brought the war on our territory to our families. Sorry for repeating, to our houses. And they're not right. And of course, all the Ukrainians want to hear strong position of the United States on our side. From one side, it's
And you just blew that.
From another side, he wants to find some way of dialogue with Putin. But he always said, as I remember, he always said that peace through strength. And that's why I think that he's strong, United States strong, two parties together. In this question, two parties always together against Russia. You're very strong to do strong steps against Putin.
Americans are worried about where the money.
There it is again. He still doesn't get it. He still doesn't get it. We should gang up on him. Come on, dude. It's like he's getting his ass kicked. He's asking the biggest guy in the crowd, "Will you come help me fight this guy?" Right? Please. And now we go get him our team now, right? No, you just can't do it on your own. Once we get, I mean, you picked a fight with one of the biggest guys in the block, right? And just because we happen to be the bigger one, doesn't mean we're going to come help the little guy out, right? And honestly, like I said, if you go back and you look at the history of the Ukraine-Russia conflict over time, their history, and you go back to when this guy got into office, right? What went on behind all that? That's when Putin says it started. He didn't say it started when he invaded. He said it started with the coup, right? And what you guys did back then. So again, so he's bullshitting people. He's counting on people not understanding history or having done their research. And so he's doing that shit. And so that just, again, call on this guy out. I think the best thing we can do for Ukraine is replace this dude.
Has gone.
Yeah.
Will there be a very rigorous accounting of where the money has gone? It seems like there is some question about whether there's corruption or sold military equipment.
No, it can't be so. 100 billions we got during 3 years.
183 from the U.S.
Now, on the paper, in the documents, yes. But we have, in fact, because 67 came like a weapon. It came through the border. It's checked and it's fixed by everybody, and we shared it not once with the American side. And 31.5, it was direct financial support to the budget. Again, it's very open. It's digitalized. It's open, free, and please, if somebody wants to check it again, we are very, very open with this.
Last thing, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you think your relationship with Donald Trump, President Trump, after today, can be salvaged?
Can be? Yes, of course, because it's relations more than two presidents. It's the historical relations, strong relations between
you think
our
so,
people.
huh?
And that's why I always began
it's gonna work out for you.
to thank your people from our people. And this is the most important. And of course, thankful to President and of course to Congress, but first of all to your people. Your people help to save our people. People, the first. Human rights, the first. This is very, very important. And we are thankful and sorry for this. I mean, we wanted very much to have only strong relations, and I very count that we will have it.
Mr. President, we're honored
As
that you
soon as
kept
you
this
get your
interview.
attitude
Thank you
adjusted.
very much for the
Thank
time.
you. Thank you so much.
All right. As soon as you get your attitude adjusted there, Zelenskyy. I mean, come on, dude. We all see it. You think Americans are stupid. That's the problem. That's the problem. And you think Trump is Biden, which is freaking weird. I mean, come on, seriously? You've dealt with him in the past. How do you possibly think he's going to act like Biden? I don't know. The guy's weird. He's a weirdo. And he just had a major fail today, like completely. Let's see. Did anybody send me any send me the best memes you can find on Zelenskyy, whatever they are. You can put them in whatever. Just let me know where you put them. If you're in the Discord, all right. So you're right winning. He's not telling the full context of the past. No. He's telling the convenient one, the one that works for the establishment first bail under the control of the establishment narrative people, right? The barely paying attention, not researching, believing everything they see on TV people, right? That's who he's talking to. And he thinks, well, that's what works, right? Maybe that's what has worked for him. What we got on time? Okay, 2:18. Let's see. Let's get it. Oh, there was a press conference today, man. I know. Is it over here? See if we can get a condensed version of it. But I think we got major news out of the White House today, so let's save that. We can go review it next week. And nothing new on the Epstein files front. We could continue talking about how bad Zelenskyy is too. Don't think I'm changing topics here. I'm just trying to think about where we're going to go next, what direction we want to go next. That's all. In our final 40 minutes of the show, I like to keep it about 3 hours for people that are new. That's usually what it runs. Monday nights we do Unrig the Game, which is a great show for people who like to read but don't have time. We do audiobooks. We're currently just started. We just started chapters 1 and 2 last week of The War on Warriors by Pete Hegseth. A great book, man. I'm like straight in your. It's a like having someone tell you a story, man, and a really good story about things. It's in your face. It's written in a conversational language. It's based. I'm digging it, man, and we're getting good insight into Pete Hegseth as well. So if you like doing that, that's what we do on Monday nights at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Most of my shows start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm somewhat considering, since I didn't do Wednesday night, to do an Unveiling Reality on Sunday night to cover the UFO rabbit hole, alien rabbit hole grift scene that's on fire right now. A lot of people out there, like there's just a lot of stuff. It's one of those things, if you don't keep up with it, you end up having too much content for one show. So I don't know, but I'm also thinking about spinning that whole series off into a different show. So I don't know yet. I've often thought about having a show called Degrifted. And for some reason, I think that someone else has that name that I know, though. That didn't mean it's going to stop me from using it. I don't know. We'll see. I'll figure something out. But I think that show itself could probably stand on its own, and then we could free up Unveiling Reality for what it was meant to be. Unveiling Reality is the show that spun off a lot of shows. So maybe that could be a more open show, not always just me, other people with me. T3, since we do Sunday nights, you're doing that. She can come on with me if she wants to be part of that stuff and have some fun doing that. Maybe I could find some of these people that are degrifting out in what they call and I hate this name, the UFO community. It's like, that's a terrible name. But I like to be part of the degrifting community. That's what I want to be. But some of these guys are hilarious, and we probably together would have a great show. So I may try to do something like that. I don't know. I like to brainstorm in front of you guys sometimes. So that's what I just did. Anyways, back to the show here tonight. Let's see. What did I want to do? I feel like that was so much. We could. I actually did put White House presser in there, didn't I? What can I find that? Is it on the White House site? Do they post this on the site? I usually just find them on another channel. Maybe we need to do that. But I don't see it on the one I usually go to. Keep talking, guys. I'm watching. What did I? Where is it? Or this gets overrun like by all this stuff. I feel like we're going to hear stuff that we already know the answers to. If we watch it, that's my hesitation. So Scott, let's see. We should make a meme except every wimpy wore an old suit. Oh man. Don't show up to Scott's house without a suit on, dude. You'll be in trouble. He wants a nice pressed suit, man. Get on it. Let's see. He says he always almost gets info from MSNBC, right? This guy seems very out of it, man. I have no confidence in his ability to lead a country that's at war with Russia at all. I mean, I don't think I think he's just a figurehead. He's just a puppet that's out there to get money, and he doesn't know what he's doing. Now he's probably just lost his job, man. He goes back to Ukraine. His handlers are gonna be like, "What are you doing? We're gonna wake up tied up to a tree, naked, upside down, and me peeing on your face." Like I knew a Ukrainian guy who said that one time. That's why I think about Ukrainian torture, like what your outcome is if you mess with a Ukrainian, is that you get knocked out and wake up unconscious, tied upside down, naked to a tree with a missile on your face. That's what he said he did to people. I was like, wow, We would call him the Ukrainian skull crusher. That was his nickname. So and he could do it. They could do it. All right. Okay, so it's like this. I got some news stories. I got Ron Paul talking about DOGE. That was pretty cool. You want to do that as a nice little interlude here? Because it's always good to hear from Ron Paul. It's only 6 minutes. It's there. I got it. And honestly, I think the rest of it we covered. So yeah, I'm gonna knock this out. Let's just do this one. I got some reactions today. I mean, didn't we react enough to it? You don't need other people's reactions to it, do you? I don't. All right, let's remove this. Why is that going so slow over there, man? What are you doing to me? All right. Am I still live? Is everything okay? All right. Oh, one of the if there's a wall of fame or a Mount Rushmore for this channel, you know who's the first, you know who's at the front of that. You know, you got it's this guy right here coming up. And yes, I have to get, we got some lag going on. I probably got too many tabs open again. Oh my goodness, look at all this stuff. Let me close that one. Which ones do I not need? Let's close that one. Oh man, I got too many. I'm not using that one right now. Let's close that. Close that. I need that later. That's for okay. I think we're good. All right, cool. Okay, sorry, I had to do a little housekeeping there. Thank you for hanging with me. Man. All right. Right? Is it Memorex? Okay, we got this on winning speed. Let's make sure. Okay, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, bring them in. If we had a Mount Rushmore of winning reality, Trump would certainly be on it. But who would be on it right before him as the one of the founding fathers? We'd have this guy, Ron Paul. Ron Paul started a revolution. He got the ball rolling to where we are today. Whether people want to realize that or not, that's okay. I was there. I know I was there. And the other one would be like Yuri Bezmenov. He'd have to be up there too. So Yuri, Ron Paul, Donald Trump, and more to come for sure. Probably somebody else up there. I can't think about right now. But anyways, here we go, guys. Here we go. Let's see what Ron Paul. This is Ron Paul. My honest opinion about DOGE. He's a hard guy to please. All right. And that's because he's very principled, very base. Ron Paul, tell us what you think.
I think it's exciting, but I've worked on an assumption over the years that government are wasteful and fraudulent and very, very harmful. So that's the nature of government. But obviously that doesn't mean everybody's that way. And sometimes it gets out of control. And our founders intended the government to be very, very small, but they also warned if the people weren't a moral people, the thing wouldn't work. And I think that's where we are now. So there's a lot of waste, fraud, and deceit that goes on. And the wastefulness is so bad. I think that we've gotten away with it for so long. We go through periods, we have ups and downs, booms and busts. But I think this one is probably bigger than going on. And it's so bad that people are willing to even listen to what the administration is doing. There was a major change in the administration. And I think that's symbolic of the danger.
All right, we get the memes next. Memes next.
And that this downturn, which we're in the middle of, but a lot of people don't admit to, is going to be a lot worse than they've had before. It may even prompt a serious consideration for having a different reserve currency in the world, and maybe more and more people will be giving up on the dollar, which would be a very dangerous situation.
Well, I want to actually talk to you about that and circle back in a moment. But first, you've shared that bureaucracy is really the result of ignoring the U.S. Constitution. Can you share what you mean by that?
Well, I for a lot of times in Congress, I would ask the other members, Article 1, Section 8 is pretty important. The founders thought they wanted to make it clear on what authority they were given to the federal government. So Article 1, Section 8 does that. And then they said, if we didn't mention it, you don't have it. The powers we didn't mention, the 10th Amendment says everything goes back to the states and to the people. And boy, that's not complicated at all. And just think of all these agencies and what they've been doing and what's been exposed with this revelation. I mean, it's been so bad for so long that probably, I think 80% of what the federal government does is technically probably unconstitutional. So a little bit helps, and I think that we have a long way to go to get the American people to understand, that major changes have to occur. I'm delighted with the discussion, say, on education. They're talking about not just, I don't like it when they tinker around the edges and cut 20% and say, see, we're moving along. But the principle still remains there. Right now, we hear talk about how did they ever get, how did the federal government ever get control of our educational system? And I consider that so important because I think that's where so many people are misled in history and economics and the work. So I think there's some good things happening, but I also think there's some bad things that could happen if we don't get this thing straightened out.
Well, we're supposed to have checks and balances. So how did we get to a place where there's all this reckless spending that's been brushed under the rug and not audited for so long when we're supposed to have agencies specifically dedicated to auditing, right?
Well, I think in a way, the market has benefited us when we were blessed with, a very, very wealthy country, resources and all. And we had a lot of license because we ended up after World War II with the legal aspect of counterfeiting money for the world, and the temptation was there, and we in this country did it. So, oh yeah, people have this idea that we're powerful now, we should police the world, and so we became the policemen of the world, and people did it with a good feeling. We're tough and we run things and we're wealthy, and we still are probably the wealthiest country in the world. But people are realizing it's unfortunately all based on debt, and people are starting to wake up to realize that debt can't go on forever. So it was the good part of freedom that produced a lot. The production that occurred in this artificial economy that was fed with artificial money.
God bless Ron Paul.
I think it was hiding the problem. If we'd have had to pay for everything that we've used, if we'd have had to pay for, say, all the wars we've been in, there'd have been a lot less wars. So,
there I am.
So the wealth that we had and the ability to have a military and the ability to have the reserve currency in the world was a big temptation for the politicians, and the people liked it too. The more you promise, the more we'll vote for you. And both parties have been, very, very good at spending money and offering more stuff to the people. They're still trying to do it, but right now they're running out of steam, and that's why I think this year is going to be different, and is already different than ever before, because we're getting something done that I've been arguing forever, especially with the Fed. Audit. Let's find out what they're doing. It's a shame that it's gotten this far. That's the biggest, the most important thing we can do is to continue with these audits that Leon and Trump have been doing. This is good.
Yeah, Ron Paul behind DOGE, and I really hope he gets to audit the Fed. They should let him do it himself. Oh man, that would be so good. That'd be so good. Man, tell you what, he's the one who woke up the entire world. The Fed, the bank, it's not a federal organization at all. It's a bunch of banking. It's a banking cartel. It's a private central bank. You realize he woke everybody up about that. That's why you know that today, if you know it. All right, so let's get over here. Let me. YouTube is lagging like a champ, but we're getting ready to go to Zelenskyy memes. Ding, ding, ding. I don't have an intro for that, but I should. Okay. Yeah, you just wait and stop. Just go away. All right, there we go. And as soon as I minimize it, it starts talking again. Okay, stop talking. There we go. All right, now we're off. We're off to a different browser where things are just perfect. All right. Okay. Okay, here we go, guys. Here we go. Let's see. In order to hear some of these, I'm gonna have to do it like this. Let's start off with this one. Oh, you know what I could do? All right, so let me do it like this. Bing, ding, ding, bang, boom. All right, there we go. And then we'll just go to bookmarks. And we'll do it like that. This works even better than I'd ever planned. All right, we're good to go, guys. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. And let me. What are you doing, cat? Don't be playing with that. There we go. Excuse me while I whip this out. Yeah, there we go. I don't know what you're doing. Hang on a second. The cat was up with something. What'd you do? All right. He didn't do anything, but it sounded like he did something. He probably did something. I just can't figure it out right now. All right, here we go. Yes, it was Bray. It was that guy. All right, so here we go. Okay, this is the funniest meme that I've seen so far of President Trump and JD Vance and the little pompous, ungrateful Zelenskyy. Can you guys see that? All right, let's do this. Let's do that. All right. Where is my money? Listen here, little shit. This midget and his demands. Okay, that's pretty good. Go home to mommy. There we go. Go home to mommy. That's a good one. Well, we got a hold on. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Got some sound to that? Got some sound? Let's go.
Get him out of here!
Oh, is that
Get him out of here!
It sounds like the Fresh Prince or something. Nah. Yeah. Lovely. For every 1,000 likes, Zelenskyy gets smaller. Oh yeah, nice engagement. Nice engagement farming there. I wonder how many people like. If I just click on this and see if people are adding other memes to it. No, well, see, that's what he thought was going to happen. That's what he thought was going to happen. That didn't happen, though. That did not happen. I got to be careful with these and stay out. Look at Trump's like, you don't come here and do that, pull that BS. And we said, bye-bye. That's right. In the garbage with you. Nice AI. Learn to reface, man. Yeah, there's Zelenskyy. That's what he used to do, right? Before he became president. Amazing. Come back with a suit, you bum. There you go. Scott left too soon. He left too soon. Okay. 10 out of 10. There he is in the garden. Back in Ukraine in the garden. That's the last place he's going to be able to live. Okay. Cool. So there's a bunch of those. And let's go over to here some nice images here. And check this out. This one right here. Yes, this is the one. This is the one. All right, look at this. And you got them sitting there, and look. China calls, bro. You seeing this? To Putin. Putin's just smiling. Hold up, I got a line. Hold up, got a line. And it's like this, bro. They're all just joking the hell out of him. And of course, Donald Trump and JD Vance shaving Zelensky's head, but he has a suit on, so this doesn't look right. For some reason, it doesn't look right with the suit. But hilarious nonetheless. Yes, indeed. Funny days, funny times. All right. Let's see. Is my other browser fixed yet? Stop sharing. You fixed it? You ready to be a good browser now? Are you ready to be a good browser? Okay. So, we're gonna go now to one of our favorites here. He's hilarious. He's like just an old country lawyer. But it's quite funny. And of course, he has this guy gets his own speed. Like he's beyond winning speed. He's beyond. He's John Kennedy speed. And when you play him at 1.5, it's even more hilarious. But I want to play this for you guys just to understand. We talked about DOGE and about all the waste and stuff. But look at this. I love it when power hungry Stacey Abrams is getting called out for the scam artist that she is and shamed to hopefully into obscurity. I never want to see her face or hear her name again. Of course, she's the Bigfoot of Georgia. She's the Sasquatch of Georgia. She comes around and steals votes from people, and that's what she does. So down here, she's a nemesis. She's a nuisance, a varmint of sorts, a giant varmint that if you turn your back and you're out at a certain time, she'll steal your vote. So you got to watch for this woman. But when John Kennedy calls her out, you know it's going to be a good time. Check this out. I probably haven't seen this, but this is worth the watch.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, with me,
and he's at John Kennedy speed.
John
That's
Lowry,
super Adderall speed.
Who's one of my colleagues in my office, who's been a big help to me. Mr. President, as you know, when Vice President Harris and President Trump ran against each other for the presidency, one of the planks in President Trump's platform was that he was going to review every penny of federal government spending. Why did he say that? Why did he promise to do that? Well, first, there's a moral principle involved. People work hard for their money, and when they give it to government, they're entitled to expect government to spend it efficiently. Number two, President Trump ran on that plank because of our debt. The federal debt is $36.5 trillion. You know, we throw these numbers around like a trillion, you know, we start to take them for granted. To give you a little perspective, this $36.5 trillion, it grows bigger by the second. It's going to increase. If we just keep doing what we've been doing, it's going to increase $1 trillion every 100 days. If we just keep doing what we've been doing, it's going to increase $10 billion a day. Today, nothing changed. We had $10 billion in debt. That's also $417 million an hour. That's $6.9 million a minute. I think I've been talking about a minute. We just added $7 million to our debt. That's why the president wants to get rid of spending porn. The reaction here in Washington, Mr. President, has been breathtaking. I understand Washington is not exactly a slice of America. I get that. I understand that Washington is not normal. Normal in Washington, D.C. is a setting on the dryer. So I get all that. We're different in Washington. But the pushback to President Trump's effort through Mr. Musk and his team to reduce spending has just been extraordinary. I mean, people are barking and yelping and shrieking about it. They sound like the game room in a mental hospital. And I get that a lot of people don't like President Trump, and I get that many people don't like Mr. Musk, and I get that Mr. Musk is different. I kind of like that. I mean, I like different. You know, he's the sort of guy that would wear, I don't know, he'd wear Crocs to a wedding. I get that. I find it kind of refreshing. But nobody's ever called him a dummy, and he's found an incredible amount of waste and abuse of taxpayer money, what I call spending porn. I'm not going to repeat everything I repeated or I said the first time we talked about this, but Mr. President, it seems to me to be once again extraordinary that people are mad at President Trump and Mr. Musk for the process they're using, but no, they're not mad about the money being wasted. I mean, Mr. Musk, whether you like him or not, he's found, for example, $7.9 million we spent to teach Sri Lankan journalists to avoid binary gendered language. He's found money that was given to an NGO to empower the LGBT community in Armenia. He found $1.5 million that we spent to rebuild the Cuban media ecosystem. $2.1 million to the BBC to strengthen the media ecosystem in Libya. $8.3 million spent for equity and inclusion education in Nepal. Does no one care about how the money was actually abused and wasted? Mr. President, it's not unusual for me to be disappointed for some things I see in Washington. And under the last administration, I have to admit, I was disappointed just about every single day. I've almost gotten used to it.
Easy to do.
But last week, and this is what I want to talk about, Mr. President, I read a story It was a story
Hold
about.
on. Before you go into that story, let me take care of some businessman. Hold on here. Let's see, dude. You got you get this one. You get this one right here. Hard member, thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. Super chat twice tonight. Thank you so much. Winners, living by chance, living by choice, winning by profession. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. All right. Thank you so much, man. And that's awesome. Happy to have you here, sir. Happy to have you here. All right, let's let Mr. Kennedy continue.
About the abuse of taxpayer money in the last administration. And it was so nauseating that it triggered my gag reflex. In April of 2024, not that long ago, the EPA under President Biden gave $2 billion in taxpayer money to an organization that had absolutely no experience, that was backed by a very prominent Democratic politician.
Just keep in mind, this is on
on
1.5 speed.
Here's what happened. In 2022, as you know, Mr. President, President Biden and my Democratic colleagues passed the Inflation Reduction Act. Not a single Republican voted for it. Not one. Either in the House or the Senate. We knew at the time that spending $1.2 trillion, that's what the Inflation Reduction Act cost, would only make inflation worse, not better. And even President Biden eventually admitted that the Inflation Reduction Act did absolutely nothing to raise prices. Even President Biden, at the end of his term, admitted that. So where did all the Inflation Reduction Act money go? Fair question for taxpayers to ask. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to know what they do with our money. Let me say that again. There's nothing wrong with wanting to know what they do with our money. So where did all the Inflation Reduction Act, this $1.2 trillion go? Well, President Trump and DOGE, the group appointed by President Trump, and the EPA under new leadership, under Mr. Lee Zeldin, have begun to follow some of that money. Now, this is where Ms. Stacey Abrams comes in.
Burn her down.
I think it's fair to say that Ms. Abrams is, I don't know, I would call her controversial. She has the right to believe what she believes. This is America, and she has the right to free speech. I'm not criticizing that, even though I disagree with some of what she says. But I think it would be fair to describe her as controversial. She's probably best known for the fact that she ran for governor of Georgia twice, and she lost. In her career, Ms. Abrams has said the following. I don't want to just articulate hyperbole here. I want you to read her words, not mine. Yeah. On April 20th, 2024, Ms. Abrams appeared on MSNBC with Reverend Al Sharpton, and this is what Ms. Abrams said, quote, "What we know is that the attack on diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, is an attack on democracy."
Yeah.
On September 20th, 2022, during a panel discussion in Atlanta, Ms. Abrams said this about a baby's heartbeat, a fetal heartbeat, the heartbeat of a baby in a mother's womb. This is what Ms. Abrams said about a fetal heartbeat. She said it is, quote, a manufactured sound designed to convince people that men have the right to take control of a woman's body.
This is... I don't know what to say about that, except for she ran for governor twice and lost twice. So thank God.
End quote. My word, her words, not mine. In May of 2022, during a Georgia gubernatorial debate, she's running for governor of Georgia now. Ms. Abrams called Georgia, quote, the worst state in the country to live in. In October of 2022, during another Georgia gubernatorial debate, Ms. Abrams accused the sheriffs, all of the sheriffs in Georgia who endorsed her opponent, Governor Brian Kemp, of wanting, quote, to be able to take black people off the streets. In October of 2022, Ms. Abrams appeared on MSNBC. She suggested that abortion is a solution to inflation. That's what she said. She said, quote, let's be clear. Having children is why you're worried about your price of gas. It's why you're worried about how much food costs, close quote. Her words, not mine. Let me say again, Ms. Abrams has the right to her opinion. This is America. You're not free if you can't express yourself. But I do think any fair-minded person would have to conclude that Ms. Abrams is controversial.
She's batshit crazy. Say it. I'll say it for you, John. I got you.
In March of 2023, not that long ago, Ms. Abrams went to work for an organization, a nonprofit, called Rewiring America. You've probably seen that name in the news. Rewiring America. Ms. Abrams' title, she went to work for Rewiring America. Her title was senior counsel. She was paid for her work for Rewiring America. We don't know how much, though there'll probably be an investigation to find out. Now, nonprofits like Rewiring America, Ms. Abrams' group, they have to file documents with the IRS. And one of the documents they have to file is called Form 990. This form by the IRS asks a number of questions about nonprofits. One of the questions the IRS asks is where it is for the organization, the nonprofit, to list its accomplishments. Rewiring America, Ms. Abrams' group, told the IRS in 2023 on this form 990 that Rewiring America was, quote, this was Rewiring America's, quote, startup year for the organization. And the form goes on to say that the only accomplishment Rewiring America listed was that it had, quote, joined a coalition of other national organizations to apply for a grant from the Inflation Reduction Act's Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund. In other words, Ms. Abrams' organization told the IRS that this filing was their first ever tax filing in 2023, that the organization was a startup, and its purpose was exclusively to seek a grant from President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act. Fair enough. So what do we know about this coalition that Ms. Abrams' group wanted to form?
Listen to this, guys.
Ms. Abrams' group announced on October 12th, 2023, that it was joining Habitat for Humanity,
Listen to this
joining
scam.
United Way Worldwide, and 2 other organizations. And these 4 organizations were going to form another nonprofit, a coalition of nonprofits called Power Forward Communities. So you've got Power Forward Communities up here, you've got Rewiring America and some other organizations down here. And all together, they make up Power Forward Communities. And they also announced that a gentleman by the name of Tim Mayopoulos, a former Obama administration appointee, would lead the coalition. Now, as a nonprofit, I told you that Rewiring America had to file forms with the IRS. Well, so did this new group, Power Forward. It had to file Form 990 as well with the IRS. According to its filings, Power Forward had just $100 in total revenues in 2023.
All right, Power Forward. That's the thing that they just made it. You see what they're doing? They're stacking on, right? Keep that in mind. I'll back that up 5 seconds, but we got to take care of some business here. All right, let's see. Well, you go to 1, 2, 3. You're right up there to this level right here. Here we go. Notice te Epson et verin bellum. Let's see. Can I pronounce that correctly? Notice te ipsum et vince bellum. Know yourself and conquer the war. Know yourself and conquer the war. Is that how you meant it? I remember. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Know yourself and conquer the war. All right. Wise Latin words, man. Wise Latin words. Here we go. Hopefully you meant it that way. I've heard a couple other ways I could have interpreted that, but thank you for the $2 super chat, man. I appreciate it.
According to the IRS filing, it didn't list a single accomplishment.
Okay,
I've seen Girl Scout troops.
They're applying for a federal grant.
Power Forward had just $100 in total revenues in 2023.
$100.
According to the IRS filing, it didn't list a single accomplishment.
No accomplishment.
I've seen Girl Scout troops with more business credentials. Yet Power Forward Communities, of which Ms. Abrams' Rewiring America was a part, had the audacity to ask the federal government for a $2 billion grant.
$2 billion.
For what? You asked?
For what?
It was supposed to be for, quote, to expand access to clean energy by prioritizing housing, equity, and resilience. Power Forward Community said it wanted to take this taxpayer money and help people install energy-efficient upgrades.
Rumble, hook it
to their
up.
homes.
We're
What are we
counting
talking
on
about? Heat pumps. Get rid of gas stoves.
Yeah,
Now,
that's what they're
it's
supposed to
good.
do. They're supposed to like go around. They're getting $2 billion to go around. I guess starting here in Georgia, they're supposed to go around and replace gas stoves and with electric ranges, I guess, and then replace air conditioning units with heat pumps, or replace furnaces with heat pumps. So it was an attack on natural gas, is what it was. So the basically forming a coalition of inexperienced NGOs with no profit, no accomplishments, in order to go around and force people to buy their appliances and to change out their current situation for the one that they said that you have to have. Authoritarianism. $2 billion.
To dream big in America. I'm all for that. But under any reasonable standard, Mr. President, under any reasonable standard, one is entitled to ask how these organizations, Ms. Abrams Rewiring America and Power Forward Communities, brand new organizations, no business experience, $100 in the bank,
$100
are qualified to receive $2 billion of taxpayer money from the Biden administration.
Yeah. Explain that one. Corruption.
Now, that didn't stop the Biden administration from cutting a check, though. They took our money.
Cut a check to Stacey Abrams, known scam artist, to rewire and to force their electric appliances on people and cause them to give up their gas appliances. Right? That's what they got that for. Stacey, I guess she's out of the vote, the vote scamming business or whatever. Now she's moving on to the authoritarian force your establishment appliances upon people business. And without any experience, without any money in the bank, without any accomplishments, was stroked a check for $2 billion. Get mad.
Money and gave Power Forward Communities in Rewiring America $2 billion. You want to know how we ran up $36 billion in debt? That's how. Now, the EPA announced in 2024 under President Biden, just 6 months after Power Forward was formed. Power Forward was formed, and 6 months later, President Biden and his team announced they were giving them $2 billion, and that's, as I said, that's B with a billion. Now, look, I try to see the world from other people's bell towers as much as I can, but I cannot come up, not for the life of me, with a single rational justification as to why the EPA under the Biden administration thought it was appropriate to give Power Forward and Rewiring America to brand new business, brand new nonprofits with no business experience, no accomplishments according to the IRS forms, and only $100 in the bank to give them $2 billion of taxpayer money, especially to the exclusion of every other qualified applicant for that money, if there were any other qualified applicants. We don't know. I don't know. I don't know if there was a competitive bid. Now, I do know that the EPA under President Biden gave Ms. Abrams' group, her two groups, $2 billion cash. In the grant approval, President Biden's EPA said that Power Forward had to allocate this money to get rid of stoves, to put in heat pumps. They had to allocate the money. They had to spend it in 21 days.
Listen to
now,
it.
That meant that Ms. Abrams' group, Rewiring America, which was part of the larger group, likely received or was supposed to receive a check for $490 million, about a quarter of the total $2 billion, by the end of May 2024. And the other organizations, within 21 days, President Biden directed, were also supposed to receive their share of the money.
Listen to the time frame on this.
President Biden and his team directed these NGOs to distribute $2 billion in 21 days. But
$2 billion, 21
the Biden
days.
administration also told Power Forward within 90 days to go take a course. You know what the course was?
Yes.
The name of the course was How to Develop a Budget.
90 days. Take a course on how to develop a budget.
President Biden gave Power Forward 21 days to spend the money.
$2 billion.
You've got 90 days to go take a course about how to put together a budget.
Clown
and
world.
why would anybody in the Milky Way
Clown world
give $2 billion of taxpayer money to two organizations that had just been formed?
Clown
that, according
world.
to the IRS filings, had no accomplishments, and one of them only had $100 in the bank.
Try to do that for yourself.
I think I know why. I certainly know what it looks like. I mean, this would be comical if it wasn't so odious.
What?
$2 billion.
He's
the last 4 years under the last administration have been very difficult for America. The cost of everything's gone up. Cost of many things have gone up by 20%, and our wages didn't keep up. The average electricity bill in America went up 19%. The average Louisianian, because of President Biden's inflation, had to spend an extra $890 a month, extra, for food and clothing and car notes, and they didn't get $890 a month raise. President Biden and my Democratic colleagues told us that the Inflation Reduction Act, I remember when it was passed, they said if you spend $1.2 trillion on the Inflation Reduction Act, it'll be a lifeline to every family in America.
Yeah.
So it looks like to me,
the old bullshit
it looked like to me that it was really a slush fund. Slush fund for Washington insiders.
Why? I won't make no judgments. Nothing.
Accusations that are unfair.
See, I knew he was going with that.
I think EPA administrators.
I'm way too nice for that.
Needs to get to the bottom of this. I believe in fairness. I believe in due process.
Yeah.
Mr. Zeldin has announced that he's going to try to call back as much of this $2 billion and other monies as he can. And again, I think he ought to do it fairly and accord everybody due process.
There you go.
But you know what? If the shoe fits, wear it, Cinderella.
Yeah, Cinderella.
Here's what I see.
Go to the fall.
I see
ride the pumpkin.
2 organizations.
You can do it.
Formed in the last year or so of President Biden's administration.
Yeah.
On their IRS filings, they say we have no experience. We have
Darth
no
Kitty, what's up?
One of them only has $100 in the bank. One of them, senior counsel, is Ms. Stacey Abrams, a well-known Democratic politician. I see them asking the President of the United States and his EPA for $2 billion cash to fight gas stoves and getting it.
To fight gas
and getting it to the exclusion of every other applicant who might have been able to use that money.
Yep.
Now, this is just the beginning of the type of spending porn that President Trump and Mr. Musk are uncovering, that people are screaming about. I'm going to repeat what I started with.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to know what they do and did with our money. And that's all President Trump and Mr. Musk are doing. Mr. President.
Where's the money,
They are with Gary, and where's the money? That's right. Okay, off that screen. We've been here. We've seen it. We've done it. Guys, thank you so much for being here this evening. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it for you and being here with you on this great winning edition, Friday edition of Winning Tonight. Friday editions are pretty cool. We have a good time. I know I promised to get to some good news of the week, but we just darn running out of time. That's okay, though. It'll be good news next week, too. It's just good news. All right. Hey, Darth Kitty, what's up? Good to see you. Happy you stopped in. I hope you were listening longer than that. But yeah, we are wrapping things up here. But I'd like to see more of you. So hang out some. All right. Hang out some. Let's see. I bet she fills up her purse at the buffet. Yeah, she's the worst. She's the worst. She literally goes into a golden corral and they have to put out a close for the day sign. I mean, it's really, really, really bad. Yeah. Power hungry Stacey Abrams is a nuisance and a scourge on Georgia. Literally, you can't find an all-you-can-eat buffet around here that's still open. Oh, good. I'm glad. It's good to see you. But yeah, it's worse than that. It's just how corrupt she is and how dense she is. And the other thing is too, all her money comes from out of state and I guess scamming the government. But when she originally got started in Georgia, her and Ossoff and Warnock, all the ones who got in, well, except for Stacey because she sucks, but the other two that got in in 2020 with the rigged election, that one, yeah, those two people. Hey, you're welcome, Daisy girl. MJ, yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. I'm wrapping it up. Anyways, none of her money came from Georgia, so we're happy to see her getting her ass busted. I want to see her basically be broke and have nothing and be in jail. So that's when I'll be very happy because that's what she deserves, honestly. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm off tomorrow night and maybe back Sunday night for a special edition of Unveiling Reality. Let's call it the Ungrifted series or whatever you want to call it. But the alien UFO rabbit hole, UAP, the whole grift, the stuff that's going on. I have a good rundown of the history of alien the claims of alien crash retrievals and then how it's built up into the day, and also some evidence, some people speaking out about the Jake Barber guy that he may still be working for them. You think they're still working for the military industrial complex? Probably. So that's what I'll probably be doing Sunday night if I do a show then. That's on the fence. I don't know. But anyways, either way, I'll be back Monday night at 7:30 p.m. for the next part of The War on Warriors with Pete Hegseth. We'll be doing chapters 3 and 4, and you can't miss this book. It's so good, especially if you have been in the military or are currently in the military or even have heard of the military. You should come listen to this book. It's very good. It's very good. It's very enlightening, and you want to hear it. This is stuff you want to do. And if you don't have time to read, well, you have a bunch of people that are going to sit there and listen with the book with you, and you could talk to them and listen at the same time. It's a beautiful thing. It's a love fest there. But anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to all the people who super chatted tonight. Shelly and Hard Member, thank you so much for being here and super chatting. Really do appreciate it. Thank you to all the members who support the channel on a monthly basis here on YouTube and on Rumble. That's it for me, guys. I'm out of here. And guys, let's see. Thank you so much again. And until next time, stay based and keep on.
If you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands. If you've lost faith in humanity, and this is your villain origin story, if you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands.